Welcome to Wednesday Comics. To my right, we have Zeus himself. Alex, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Hi.
And across me, we have Cyborg himself. I couldn't think of a name for some reason.
Cyborg?
I blanked. Cyborg himself.
Let's see. What was I like freaking volcanoing about this whole night? Superman couldn't give me that cred.
See, to be fair, I'm glad he didn't.
I couldn't even get
How he's supposed
CGI mustache
He's
Superman.
the second
Garrett.
name on that fucking list tonight.
He's not even on this fucking cover.
I know. I was hoping there'd be a peel me sticker and it would be like Superman show.
To be fair, I'm glad he didn't give me Batman. Of course.
But what's my name? I'm Cyborg.
Cyborg.
Okay, so
All right, Clark Kent.
okay, booyah! Oh, Clark Kent, I'm in.
Jesus, Clark doesn't even whine this much, and I am.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he is a pretty whiny bitch.
I am your
William
Alfred.
Mansfield.
Marvin. I'm Alfred.
So, question about you,
Yeah.
and then we won't talk about it until we get to the review. But do you on purpose tuck in your jeans into your boots that just are kind of a little baggy right by the ends?
Does Alfred do that? Actually, that
I watched that whole movie and I was just like, why can't he just fucking take his pants out of his boot?
it looked pretty cool. I'm gonna go that move now. That's my. That's a.
That's like I'm gonna go
You
play in
don't
the
understand.
rain. Like,
That's
I don't want my pants to get wet.
sophisticated dressing.
That looks like a girl that doesn't own a pair of yoga pants.
We are talking Justice League. We're reviewing the movie at the end of the show, so stick around for that. And we also get comic book reviews for the week. Yeah, spoilers on Twitter. If you follow Alex, he says strong week. Maybe we'll see how the rest of us feel, but he thinks. But first,
Yeah, East West probably sucked.
but first. We were talking about before the show. Punisher comes out tomorrow. Actually, when you listen to the show, it's already out. How is it? Let me know. Go
Yeah,
back in the
it's
past.
true.
Let me know today. But
Was it binge worthy? That's what I really want to know. Is it going to be enough? Because I thought Punisher and Daredevil season 2 was meh, like not the greatest.
Well,
and when he shows up,
first four episodes are good.
When
Yeah.
he shows back up,
all right,
that's when it's like
in the finale where he's just like,
Hey,
I'm here.
I'm on a rooftop. This is a skull because I'm the Punisher. He waves at
where
me.
he shoots and
Yeah.
goes.
You like this gun? It's big.
Reminded me of Game of Thrones, Ollie.
yeah, right, jeez.
But by the way, for the audio listener, I had not in my head. Punisher comes out this weekend. On Tuesday, your brother yelled across the theater to tell me, "Hey, Marvin, on Tuesday, do you know Runaways comes out on Hulu?" I just gave him the nod. I don't know why he's trying to talk to me.
I'm
from
excited
all
for
around.
that one or not.
I heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard, like, I've read
Hulu has good
Runaways.
shows.
That's true.
So like,
But then I saw Future Man's out, and I heard that's not the best.
oh really?
But I still want to see it.
I actually want to watch that.
Yeah, it looks funny.
It could come on Hulu. Runaways, by Brian K. Vaughan's book that turned into a Joss Whedon book. It's a good book.
I guess we should be sponsoring Hulu because I'm going to tell you this right now that they reduced the price of the Hulu subscription if you start this month, just for the next couple months. It's instead of being whatever it is, it's $5.99 when Runaways starts, anyways.
It is your mic. For the last two shows, somebody's mic keeps jiggling, and it's Alex's mic.
Stop jiggling your fucking mic.
Dude, I haven't moved since you. The only thing that's moved is my head.
There you go.
When I'm
Get
watching
a bigger
music.
brain so it doesn't move so much.
Yeah, what is this? Yours is like. Oh, there you go. Yours is like really loose. I don't
If
know.
that grape didn't keep rolling around in there, then it would stay still.
Anyway, so Marvel announced, or not Marvel, Disney announced they're doing a streaming service of their own. They said, "Fuck everybody else. We're taking back all our stuff." The Marvel Netflix shows are going to stay there, but they said, "Hey, we're going to make a new Marvel show on our Disney streaming app. A new Star Wars TV show,
Yeah, live action.
a new live action Star Wars, a new Monsters Inc. TV show, and a new
There's a new Marvel one, too.
yeah, I said that was the first one.
This is the first
Oh,
one.
sorry.
And then a new High School Musical show. Those are the four things.
So the shows that have already come out on
Those
Netflix
will stay. I believe
on
they have a deal. Like they made it for Netflix, so whatever that legally, I think they can't take it off.
Okay.
So, question for you.
Yeah.
So, kind of like how Full House went to Fuller House, is High School Musical going to be higher school musical?
College musical.
So hopefully it's college musical,
Lame.
which is even tackier because
There's no way those actors will
No,
come back.
it'll still be High School Musical, but they'll be teachers now. I guarantee
It'll be
that
it'll
is
be
what's gonna
Cordon
happen.
Bleu in there the whole show, and you'd be like, guys, I didn't leave. I'm here.
Zac Efron with the cameo, guarantee it. So they're going to do their own streaming service. Obviously, they're going to have their own movies that are already out. That's the big sell of that service, is that it's going to have all Disney movies on it. But they did announce that it's going to be cheaper than Netflix. That was their one thing. They said it's going to be cheaper than Netflix, which Netflix now is what, $10?
Depends what you get.
Depends.
$10 for the standard.
$8.99 is the very lowest one, right?
For that. No,
Because
it's
I think
$9.99 now.
mine's
Is it? Okay.
$11.99 or $12.99 for four screens.
I pay for the premium because I get 4K.
That wasn't even a K.
No, but
So
I was like,
that's all you can do. K and
What about-
E, whatever. There, K. K, is that a K? Whatever.
okay.
Here, I got some eyes for you.
You're very visual for an audio show. Alex, Garrett, just flick this off.
got the bird.
Anyway, so Disney's come out with the thing. So, what do you think about that?
Flip them
Are you going to pay? I mean, there's so many different streaming services now. There's so many people pulling stuff to make their own streaming service. CBS pulled like every single Star Trek thing from Netflix to make their own streaming service that has, and they have a TV show, Star Wars Discovery, on there, which actually heard pretty decent. They're like a lot of people now are just doing their own streaming stuff. So it's basically becoming TV again.
Yeah.
The only difference is you can pick. Like if I want CBS, I can get CBS. It's not that I, with a cable package, have to get all of them. Disney. A, does it interest you? B, if they make their own Marvel show, what's that show? Like what is the thing that they would make on their own to be like, oh, I got to get that. Obviously, Star Wars is a big sell.
Yeah.
That Star Wars TV show. Obviously, that's what's going to get people. And the Disney movies. Like, if you had access to all Disney movies on the streaming service, you probably own them all anyways.
I said, to be fair, I already have old ones, so it doesn't matter.
Not all of them, though. Some of them are in that vault.
Of course.
You know
of
what
the
I
Sun?
like is the only way I'd be pissed off is if like you couldn't do carried over licenses. I mean, not licenses, but uses. Because like I have somebody that gives me Hulu. I have somebody that gave me some other cool stuff cable wise. I got Amazon Prime I pay for. I do get Netflix, so I have access to all the streaming, basically.
Can you do me a favor?
What?
I love where you're going with this. Can you get that mic stand from down there? His is like so.
I can't hear it.
Look at it. Keeps doing that when somebody.
Well,
wants to
which
fail.
is weird. I keep getting blamed for it, but I'm not doing it.
Here, switch that out. Yeah, I know you're not doing it, but we're doing it because we're bumping the table. A, I like that you're admitting to a crime on air. That's good. B,
I'm not admitting to crime. I never was specific. And
B, but I understand what you mean.
right.
Like, is it?
But if
gonna-
it's cheaper than Netflix, like
Surprise, motherfucker, I'm back.
if by cheaper than Netflix it's going to be $9.97, I'm still going to get it. But like that seems like Disney marketing for me.
yeah, you're right. They say cheaper, but they didn't say a
Right.
price.
Yeah.
So all that means is it could be $1 cheaper. Like, hey, that's
Could
what
be
we
a
said.
penny cheaper.
Like it could be a penny. Like I've seen, there's all kinds.
You're
of
right.
comments.
$9.99, $9.95, buddy. There we go.
Let's just say
Oh.
Disney owns Marvel, and what does Marvel do? They take your money.
What do you think? TV show. Alex? What do they do next? Like they already established a Defenders thing on Netflix.
There's nothing that
They have their
interests me.
movies. What's the thing that they put on Disney that you're like? Well, see, for you, you obviously don't care about Star Wars.
No. What would-
What's a TV show on there that you'd be like, I got to pay that $9.95?
I don't know. The weird thing is I don't know what the right answer would be, because actually Moon Knight would probably be something like, we're going to put Moon Knight. I would actually want to try that. But like Runaways, I really could give two shits about Runaways. I haven't read the book. I have really no pull into
I think
what.
you would like that book at
It's
least.
really
and I actually own it. I just haven't read it yet.
Hear me out. Craven TV show. You're there.
Okay, no offense. If anybody actually makes a Craven show, fuck yeah, I'll be there. I don't foresee it happening.
No.
But if they made a Sinister Six show, I would try that.
I feel like it'd be another serial kind of TV show. So maybe
Like Lucky
not
Charms or
Shield,
what?
but like just another organization kind of show.
Well, I don't think it'll be Moon Knight because, well, maybe
you
Star
need
Wars.
something popular to drag in.
It just seems that it's going to be as mature as Netflix stuff because they're going to have kind of kids movies and stuff.
yeah.
You do need something that's more all ages.
See,
not
I thought about
necessarily
like
kids,
the
though.
Champions, but
Well, I was thinking Miles
but it
Morales.
wouldn't be able to fit.
But he's in the main universe, which I guess this could be. They're tied together, aren't they, to an
Yeah.
extent?
Yeah,
So that would be a good choice. Spider-Man's a safe character to go with for the most part.
that wouldn't be bad. They set him up already.
His nephew's in the.
And then you could have Spider-Man villains show up in that. That's not a bad call. We'll see about that.
See if they have the chops.
What
to do
about
it,
this
though.
Tony Stark Jr.? We talked about it last week. Is that going to be a show?
He's gonna be the new Iron Man. He's got other priorities besides this stupid show.
What about, you said it could be any organization.
Yeah,
What about a Secret Avengers show? Where it's like
That'd be
Black
cool.
Widow,
maybe they introduce Kate Bishop, Hawkeye.
Kate. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
a Young Avengers. I would love a Young Avengers show. Kate.
But then you're gonna expect
Wiccan.
them. I mean, it's not gonna happen. But you're gonna expect them to be in the movies.
Am I though? Like none of those Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people show up in the movies.
Well, other than
They have already. Well, Coulson.
Coulson.
he's the
but
only one that
He hasn't
counts.
been back
But
since.
he started off on
The last I
movies
think
anyway.
crossover was Sif.
Is he ever going to be back, you think?
I thought that would be he better come back in Infinity War.
Holy shit, they're going to kill him off in Deadpool.
The whole reason that they rally together the third act of Avengers is because Phil Coulson gets murdered by Loki.
I know. It's like at this point, they got to know he's out there.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to see, if you don't give us that fan service of seeing Tony Stark find out that Coulson's alive, you're not doing it right. Like, we should see that scene. I want to see.
Before he dies.
What?
Before Tony dies.
Right.
Yes.
We think I thought you were before Coulson. I was like, he already died, dumbass. But yes, I get what you're saying.
Maybe they meet and he dies, and then that's Coulson's motivation, Agent Shield, whatever. By the way, one last thing here that we can move on. You said you think it's going to be Miles Morales. Good choice. I actually think that's.
I think that's the wisest choice.
Championson is not a bad call either.
But what about the mutants? Not all the was that New Mutants? But I know they're doing a movie that's called New Mutants. But I mean, the one that's like Rock Slide and the.
I was in Generation X.
Generation X. Because they're so off.
But they're not. They don't have the rights to X-Men.
Oh, that's right.
What about just the Hawkeye show? Kate Bishop.
That'd be so good.
That'd be pretty good.
Based off this comic, write the F now. We'll write it. Just we don't need to write it, but whatever. Just do that.
Just do that. Yeah.
Panel by panel.
To be fair, there's plenty of things that Marvel could hand out to the three of us and four of us, including your brother, and we could make millions for them.
I heard about the Spider-Man trilogy. Did you ever talk about it on the show?
No.
Okay.
We're waiting for his brother to be here to do it. We'll probably do the same day we do that Turtle show.
Oh, you were saying something. I forgot. I said one last thing before we. Okay, what?
He's talking about Kate Bishop.
Oh,
Make it the F right now.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the new promo. Did you keep up with the show?
No, I stopped midway through season 3 just because I had so many shows. I want to catch up because I heard season 4 was really good.
Okay, never mind then. The new ad is them in space.
Right.
But I don't know what that means.
Space.
Skrulls.
Secret Invasion, bro.
Disney's got them back. Marvel, I mean. Well, Disney, whatever.
Okay, so if they announce Miles Morales, that's enough for me to sign up for that service.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, that's enough for me to sign up for that service. And Young Avengers. I think those are the only 3. Anything else, I'd be like, I don't know.
I feel like they might pull some kind of shit where it might be another Elseworld show. Potentially.
I think in all honesty, the wisest move would be Miles Morales. He's an up and coming character that
the best Marvel show out there is Legion. Like I want that show back so bad.
It's coming back soon.
I know.
All ages, you're right. All ages. Spider-Man has a name. Mm-hmm. You can set it in the Ultimate. He is. You're right. He's in the.
So who's Miles Morales' best friend going to be now? Because Genki is. Maybe they'll cast a character and actually name him Genki for that show.
Well, if they set it in the universe, you're right because Ned's
Peter's best friend in that.
We'll see.
Write your way out of that one, motherfuckers.
Wait. How about this? Is it Prowler will steal Ned, brainwash him, even though I'm sure that's not part of his MO. Boom. Hands him over to Miles. Miles goes, Genki. That's the first word that ever came out of his mouth. That's what he named this guy.
I'll say, hey, Miles has the new Lego Death Star set.
And just a quick update on Bendis. Defenders is ending with issue 10.
Yep.
Jessica Jones is continuing with a female writer. He kept saying, I know she's going to do a good job, so I'm not. And Bendis had also mentioned that because how it started is that somebody asked how his books are going to be handled. And he said that he said Jessica Jones he said it was always going to go to a different writer. That was already planned because he was supposed to do an event for Marvel, not an event, but a big book, he says. And so he wasn't going to be able to do Jessica Jones. So he already set stuff in place for that person to take over. So they're just going to naturally do what they were going to do. But that big book he was going to write, he's not doing anymore, obviously, he said.
Right.
I wonder what that is, though. Obviously, somebody else is going to take it over. But what were they?
Jessica Jones comes back as Jewel.
All right.
I tell you what, I would actually maybe jump on Jessica Jones with the new writer.
If it's Kelly Thompson.
If it's Kelly Thompson,
we'll talk about it later. Let's get into some comic book reviews, as Alex calls it, the week of all weeks, top 10. I don't know why I keep bringing that up. Mostly because I was pretty pumped to see you actually tweet some new stuff this week. Keep on that Twitter at Alex Pastrello.
To be fair,
more than I do.
To be fair, fuckhead.
Now you
I say a lot of good
and
stuff.
you like all the time. You barely put out content.
I put things out usually on Wednesdays after I go pick up shit.
Okay.
So go fuck yourself.
The Rules of Engagement Part 3. This is Batman number 35. Written by Tom King. Art by Joel Jones. Colors by Jordi Paletter. Duel with the Demon's Daughter. Right on cover here. By the way, the cover is accurate, like I asked you.
It is.
Yeah.
I did ask you on the forecast if it was accurate because I was behind the issue. I wasn't sure if it was. What do you guys think? This is it seems like it's the last issue of this arc.
Definitely is.
What do you think, Garrett?
I loved it. I read 34 in this back to back. 34 was amazing. I told Marvin, I texted Alex, but there was like a scene in there that was like, oh, hit me right down to the
I got it.
feels.
I already know what it is.
What is it?
Dick and Damien.
Hell
on the
yeah,
stairs.
it was. And then this book, there was still a little more Dick and Damien banter, and because I've always I ship those guys as a team, not as a relationship.
When they're on the stairs and he says, "Thank you for being here, Richard," and he goes, "Me and you to the end, Damien."
Dude.
What do you say? It's always going to be that way, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like from the beginning all the way to the very end.
It's been that way since the beginning.
I was like, I stopped for a second. I was like,
It made me miss
Breathe,
that Batman and Robin
breathe.
book so much. They were so good together.
oh, and Batman Incorporated? Like, oh,
I don't know what my deal is with. I don't care for
maybe
maybe
you
it's, I
read
don't-
Batman Incorporated.
I was gonna say I read Batman and Robin, and it was fine. But maybe Batman Incorporated would be a better book. for
And
me
the
to get
Batman
there.
run with Dick as Batman. By
Oh,
Tony
just
Daniel, all
Batman.
those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And detective during that time.
Everything
I
was
read
just Dick.
I read the detective stuff, and I read the Batman and Robin. I never did get Incorporated, and I haven't read the Batman.
Yeah.
So,
But anyways, back to the actual story itself. I really liked, the art. Amazing.
I tell you what, I wish Jones was doing the art
All the
all
time.
the time.
I mean, you could see that. I don't know how early she started on this arc, but to do 3 issues in a row, I mean,
And
I
to
feel
look
like she's
great.
a pretty quick artist. Yeah, the fight between Catwoman and Talia was pretty awesome. I liked Talia explaining like how she's basically treating Catwoman like she was treated at birth. I mean, around birth as a child. Basically being
As soon as she
put
could
through
walk,
the
yeah.
ringer. Yeah, like
So about 1 year.
showing
1 year,
her
yeah.
like how ruthless she can be.
Yeah.
I know it's just for the only negative I'll say about this is they say bat and cat so many times.
Oh, I never saw the Bat and Cat in here. In
Maybe it was
the
34.
first
Yeah.
two
They do
issues,
say it, but I don't think they say it that many times. It's like 1 or 2 times.
The only
Well, I
thing-
mean, anytime they address each other, it's kind of like Justice League. It's like cat, bat, cat,
yeah, but
bat. I'm like, I
it'd
get
be
it.
like me
But at
calling
this-
him Marv and you Gary or something. It's
But
just
saying
like-
my name every time again. That's what I didn't like. This issue, though, was still really fantastic. I can't believe the arc was wrapping up that quick. I thought it was going to be a little longer. They made it seem like, because especially when Superman was there, he's like, hey, you can't go through this door. And then he like takes off. And I was like, oh, I thought there was going to be a lot more fallout from him crossing this basically dead zone line.
Well, I think that it was the perfect link. I think if it went any longer, I'd be like, what?
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
what's the point? Like everything was accomplished in 3 issues.
yeah.
I would like it to be longer. Like you said, Joel's art's great. Coloring great. Jordi Belair, once again, a new artist, yet still, I think I said this 2 issues ago, still makes the artist, like you can tell a difference in the art, and she fits her style to fit their style.
Yeah.
It's not like coloring like, oh yeah, that's Jordi Belair. It's coloring me like, wow, Joel's arts is great, but like I believe at least the way I feel, colorist and inker and letterer are 3 people in comics that when they do a great job, you don't notice they're there. When they do a bad job, you notice right away.
Right.
Like they have to be very subtle with their works, and so like Jordi Belair is really, really great about like enhancing the artist's work rather than covering it up.
I tell you what, that's probably the longest I've ever looked at a cover.
Yeah.
And
It's,
it's,
nice.
it's just one of those like this.
You can see new things all the time.
Well, it's just I keep looking. It's like God, this book looks it is so good. It looks so nice.
The content, I mean, obviously it's a great collaboration between Jones and King. I love how screw sheaths, just use the back of human bodies to hold your sword for you.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was the most badass thing. Was that the end of last issue where Catwoman takes the sword out of Batman's back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, still, whatever. It all meshes into one for me.
But I like the not maybe subtle joke or just irony of it was she stabs Talia in the back,
Yeah.
and then walks over to who she tell that no, you stabbed Batman in the back, so I stabbed her. No, it was Damien.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom stabbed Batman in the back, so I stabbed her in the back.
Yeah, and I do
That
like
was
the
pretty
the ending
funny,
line.
yeah.
He goes, "Oh, I see. Well, the more things change." Like he said, yeah, it's all circular. It goes back to how it's been.
Well, in that Omega storyline, like, Damien's like, I don't want anything to do with you, with his mother.
What I really do love about this issue, even though it is a really great issue about Talia and Catwoman fighting each other. There's great action scenes. There's a great Damian and Dick's part of the story that Dick tells Damian, like, your dad's not happy. Like, Bruce is not a happy guy.
Dude, that part pulled the heart.
And Damian's like, what are you talking about? He's like, he's getting happier, but he's not happy. Like, and then he asks when he goes, Dad, are you happy? And he goes, getting better every day. Or like he said,
I'm getting there.
I'm getting there. That's what he says.
That made me stop. I was like, has anyone ever asked Batman that?
Like,
are you happy?
He's so selfless that he's never thought about himself. And this is the one point now when he's, asking Catwoman to marry him that he's like, let me do something for myself. And it doesn't even occur to Damian to see, we talked about this in Royal City last week, to see his dad as a real person. He's always been Batman. He's always been the detective. He's always been his like a father figure to him. Like the guy that beat his grandfather, basically, like this, God to him. And he respects him in that way because he's like that, but he's never seen him vulnerable. And now that he's like, are you happy? He's like, I'm getting there. And I just looked, there's a panel of just Damian looking at him, like kind of being like, wow, the more he knows about his dad, the more he knows like internally how he's feeling, the more he's seen him as just a person. And he knows that he's not this person who's invincible.
Right.
It's a really great moment in this book that Damian finally, at one point, it's not like he's like, what?
He's pulling my hair off his microphone.
At one point, is seeing his father as being like, somebody who can be happy.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the best part of this book. I really,
it was very.
I like the Catwoman part where it's Catwoman telling Talia why she's doing what she's doing right now. I was going to say that too. That she's fighting Talia, and it's not to prove any point other than he loves me, and that's why we're here. But I'm fighting you because no matter how he's a stupid man, and I'm stupid for loving him, but I love him regardless.
And she said, at the end of the day, even though I know he loves me, I know that he loves
being Batman
and being a hero and saving people more. And I know that if he has to make a choice, he's going to choose that over me.
I like how she described like the oath he made, like.
Some
like
stupid oath he made when he was 10.
Right. Will always take precedence over anything in his life.
And since he's been 10, since his parents got shot in that alley, everything always ties back to that moment. He's always trying to live up to that promise that he made to be like, this never happens again. Yep. And anything he does is always like, no, I would rather die than let this happen again.
Yeah.
And so and she knows that he would die over that rather than be with, he would die over that rather than staying alive and being with her. And that's what she's saying. She goes, I know at the end of the day, if he has the chance to make a sacrifice, he's going to do it rather than give it up and be with me. Mm-hmm. And that's something she has to accept. It's something you have to accept when you're going to be with Batman.
Right.
If you're going to be with him, you got to know that he's not going to be the husband that's going to be there for you 100% of the time. He's going to be the guy that I do love you, but if crime calls, I got to take off. And he's also struggling with that. He's trying to make that change. And that's what he says, why he's getting better every day at the end, because he's trying to make that transition. And maybe it's not working out. He's trying to figure out if he can get there. So in this story, he's trying to make it so the Catwoman is no longer associated with these crimes, these 237 deaths. Is that what it is?
Yep.
To try to help her. He's still trying to do a mission. He's still trying to help somebody out. Even though, she knows, he's still trying to make somebody else happy. He's still not doing anything for himself. And it's a very layered story, and I'm excited to see what happens next. And I really do feel like this arc especially is the best arc of this Batman.
Yeah, I agree.
It's definitely the best Bruce that we've had, definitely the best Batman that we had, Damian Dick. All these characters I think Tom King knows now.
Right.
And
is telling the story he wants to tell us.
This is the first time it's really felt like a Tom King book and being told through Batman rather than, let's try to tell a Batman story. And it's not really Tom King. It could have been anybody. Right. At this point now, it's okay, this is what I expected from the beginning.
Right.
And not saying that I really liked that stuff at the beginning. It's not saying that it was bad.
I trust him going forward more than I ever have.
It's not that the first couple arcs were bad. It's that he's found his vision in this book.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the pun sense. Vision was great because he was telling a story through Vision. It was just a story. He's finally telling a story through Batman, but it's just a good story.
Well, definitely there's moments, especially in this issue, or even in the last couple, and even in that those interludes for the
Kite Man?
Yeah, the Kite Man issues, which really felt like moments that I was like you said, in Vision. There's a lot of stuff in Vision that like that's a great moment. Like that is really true to that character, or also like really makes me sit and think. And that's what I associate with Tom King's writing. And now we're getting these in Batman, which I had hoped from the beginning, but the beginning was like good, but it was like good Batman stuff. And now I'm like, oh, this is good, a great story overall.
Yeah.
Like this.
Sorry, I just had this epiphany in my brain going where Batman's having, I hashtag not my Batman was like the first 15 issues. And as
Hashtag getting there.
kind of. And that's where the pun was going to be is like, I'm hashtag getting there. I'm almost happy with this book. And I think maybe part of it is that Bruce is suffering. And I'm suffering reading this book going, this is not my Batman. I'm starting to feel happy reading this book. And I tell you what, I know we're not doing it this year. Hopefully next year I'll start keeping tabs of favorite issues. 35 is actually probably one of my favorite issues.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 34 was great.
Right.
Was a 10. But 35 just, it sunk in that, holy shit, I love this book.
I really do love 35 and 35. I think like
34 and 35?
No, in 35, I do like the Damien Dick moment. It was great.
Yep.
The Catwoman and Talia fighting, but also like that dialogue during that part was great. But also, at a certain point, Talia respecting Catwoman and being like, I really like her. And like giving up, what's the girl's name?
I can't remember the girl's
I think
name.
it's
No.
Heather.
There you go.
I remember.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's Heather. That sounds about
It's
right.
her friend that she's had all throughout her whole existence.
her
Because now we
childhood
finally
friend.
know why she got the blame for the 237 victims. It's
that she
because
took it.
she's the one that actually killed them. And Catwoman took the blame for her. And the only reason they did this is so that Catwoman could clear her name so she could legally get married to Bruce
Yep.
Wayne. So that's pretty cool, too. Like, logistically, it makes sense that they can now, actually be married. That's what they were fighting for.
I was reading this book, and the whole time I'm smiling. I mean, there's heartfelt parts, but I'm smiling, going, "Man, I love this issue." This is my first 10 of the night because I just thought this book had everything I could want.
Holly. I'm going to start with an H. I give it a 10. I thought the last issue was better just because of my Dick and Damien moment, but
That's not where I thought you were going.
I think the Dick and Damien moment was in this one's better because
no.
yeah, I think so.
What?
That was a great moment in that last issue, but I think Dick finally like being more of a father to Damien in that moment, being like, you really gotta like your father's not happy. Like you need to really examine this and take a look at your father. Like he's not a well man. He's like broken. And
I'm meaning more with Dick and Damien as a
yeah,
part.
I was like
with them, with that part, yes.
well, that was a brother moment, and in this
Right.
one, you really do
Like
see
a mentor moment.
This was more like a mentor. Like
Yeah.
you really need like look after him for me. And then maybe it's the point where Dick's like, I'm not going to be here all the time. Like you,
Right.
this is
You gotta figure
if you're
this
going to be
out.
Batman and Robin, you really need to pick him up. Like Robin always existed to make Batman happy, to be the light for his dark, and he's basically telling him there he's not happy, and maybe you need to like help him with that.
As Damien actually calls himself Robin.
That was
Yeah.
cool. I love how Nightwing was like making fun of him doing that. And that like so much
I'm
so that
Nightwing.
when he ... you never see him answer, but you're just in your mind, you're like, because you're Robin.
Yeah, I give it a 10 too. good issue.
This is honestly, I loved this issue.
Best arc of his run.
Oh yeah.
100%.
What else we got today? Actually, yesterday was The Realm #3, written by Seth M. Peck. Jeremy Hahn did the art, and Nick Filardi did the coloring. Marvin, this is a book I really suggest you read. Like, I read this book, and I know I say it all the time. It sounds like it just, to me, reads like The Last of Us. But even today, when I was reading it this morning, I thought, holy shit, this book reads like Lord of the Rings.
It is. It's kind of a mix of The Walking Dead with like mythical creatures in that universe. So it's like an apocalyptic wasteland, but there's goblins, there's orcs, there's dragons, there's sorcerers, vampires. There's like
Just warriors in general.
I know they're trying to tailor it to kind of the Dungeons and Dragons crowd.
Hey,
Is
it's
what they
working.
said in the letters column. And yeah, I mean, it has been really fun. And there's the back matter. Did you even read any of that?
I didn't. But
That's
I
okay,
looked
but-
through it, but I didn't read it.
But they kind of release like music videos based on each issue, and they have an exclusive with like a band. It's really enjoyable.
Yep. So
Art's really solid.
It actually seems to be getting better with the issues.
Yeah.
Issue 1 was good, but this one, I don't know if the coloring stepped up or maybe it was a different colorist, but it
Right.
just, I noticed it more. And yeah, you're right. It does. There's the young guy, kind of seems like a hothead. He seems dressed like Negan,
Yeah.
where he's got the leather coat and then the red ascot.
He's
or
the one
red
that's
scarf.
selling all the like paraphernalia. Like
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Yeah, and then I keep getting him mixed up with like Will Nolan. Every now and then I'm like, okay, wait, take your time, Garrett, because they look almost the same.
They do. Their coat's a little different. I mean, their shirt. The main character's got a brown, almost trench coat, and the guy that I'm talking about, he's got the black leather coat. But they do look a lot alike. Same hairstyle.
I'm excited to see where this story goes. 3, you can't. Like story wise, I think it's the same progression as a Walking Dead book. It's very slow. Like if this is how slow it's going, I could see this series lasting a long time. So I hope it does. Because 3 issues in, like it's got that really slow pace where you're establishing the characters. Yes, they're on a mission, but it's not like speeding through the mission.
Well, it's almost scene for scene because it's where we left off from last issue. Was they ran into a new guy. And they're being chased by orcs or goblins, and they're running through a warehouse. And I even felt kind of the tense situation where the new guy goes off into the vents. I was like, holy shit, did he just bail on us?
Or is he going to come back?
Or is he going to come back?
Fuck us up.
Yeah, because they don't trust this new guy right now, and I can't remember what his name is.
Spoilers on your shirt. Sorry.
Oh. For maybe that book.
Yeah, I know. Not this book. And then there's giants right outside that cavern, like trying to break it in. Because there's one point where there's a bridge that they're seeing all these orcs come down, and you see a giant fist break through the bridge.
Yep.
I was like, oh damn. So the only thing about this book that's kind of like weird for me is like they're like very just random endings. Yeah, which is fine, which is just good. I mean, it's just keeping the story connect as you go. Because I'm so used to this is such a day and age where people do cliffhanger endings almost all the time. Yeah. So it's weird to not see a cliffhanger ending. I mean, I get that
and they are cliffhanger endings to an extent, but
at
the end of this one, they're looking over at something. It's like, well, who are you looking at?
Yeah, they don't need to be, but I would give this issue an 8.
Oh, I was giving this one a 9.
A 9?
Yeah. This book, I'm finding, maybe I'm just getting soft in my old age here, but listening to you guys loving books, I've turned into something where I'm actually looking for, is this got what I like? And the ending wasn't as strong as I would have liked, but I still enjoyed it.
So, one of the characters, I'm not going to say who, because I don't want to spoil it too much. I know we can talk spoilers, but I'll just alleviate this. But one of them's a werewolf, right? Or is he a vampire?
I think he's a werewolf.
Okay. Let's get some fucking werewolf action in this. I know it's issue 3, but
the mask
you gave me a taste. No,
that's right. It's the other one. Yeah. You're right.
Like you gave me a taste, and I want a fucking mouthful. If you get my drift.
I think a part of me is this. I'm waiting for this book to hopefully issue 4 into 5. Get the fucking thing away from my face. God, thing plugged in. Hopefully issue 4 and issue 5 leading to a really great cliffhanger. So that I'm like, holy shit, when's 6 coming out?
Right.
This book is great. And I think Marvin.
You need to go back and...
I think if nothing else, read on Hoopla or, go to Rainbow.
2019 when the whole series is on there. Take a look.
Read it.
What realm?
Yeah.
Yep. Put it on your list with Birthright.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it out.
I mean, it's feasible to do it now. Oh my God.
Now, I don't want to be getting blamed for all those noise making that happen here with these clicking shit.
Oh, covers look great.
Yeah,
covers are good.
There's so much so that they have like this like texture to it that looks like it's like ripped and torn. So sometimes me and Alex are like, is that an actual rip or is that just part of the fucking cover? And it's usually part of the cover.
I thought this book was a mini.
Maybe I have not seen mini. If it is, I got fooled freaking again. I'm still real. Okay, too soon.
Just search real quick Realm Comic Mini and see if it pops up anything.
I know it's at least 5 issues because they made a deal with that band for 5 issues.
Yeah, I think it's a mini.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
I don't think so.
I remember
they said I've read the letters column. They're like, we've been wanting to do this for a long time. Like, we're just getting started. It doesn't seem like. If it is, you really just made me depressed.
You can do Google search.
I will here, and like after I'm done reviewing the book, I'm supposed to review it well with you guys. Because now you just made me mad. Because I don't want that book to end.
You're right. Do that book by yourself.
You seen Argo? All right. Next book we got is Hawkeye, written by Kelly Thompson, with art by Michael Walsh and colors by Jordi Blair.
It's been a while since you made that joke. It's just because we saw Ben Affleck tonight. Is that why?
Hell yeah. As soon as like we were at the theater, Corey said it like 3 times. I'm like, I like this joke.
Hawkeye number, what is it?
12.
12, we have an issue.
I still haven't seen that movie, so
It's pretty good.
Well, go see it and you'll understand
We
why
have
I'm saying. All right.
Issue with Laura and Gabby.
I loved Laura and Gabby in this issue. This brought it back to what it should be in All New Wolverine.
that's the thing is that if this is what was going on in All New Wolverine, I'd be on that book.
Which
again.
it is. At 25, it was a lot like that.
It did pick back up.
It did pick up. It was
okay.
like funny again and whatnot. Because Gabby is hilarious as shit. And I like that, was it Johnny the Wolverine? Jonathan is in there. And I think, their interaction with each other from Kate to Laura to Gabby to Jonathan, like to everything. It was just, they really played well off each
Basically, it
other.
was a one shot. I mean, there's not going to continue to the next issue. If you are looking to jump in this book, there could be a perfect spot. And then the next one's Legacy with Clint. It's coming back.
Yep.
Spoiler for the end of the book. He comes back.
That cliffhanger was great. I was surprised. I didn't even think that Clint would show up at the end of this. I knew he was coming in Legacy, but I didn't think that. I thought when they turned it, it'd be like her mom or something.
In Clint fashion, always showing up with bandages on his face.
This is a different artist for this issue than normal. Michael Walsh instead of Leonardo Romero. But pretty great.
Oh, really? Because I
Still
barely
great art.
noticed.
Yeah, Michael Walsh, I believe, used to work a lot with Ed Brubaker, if I remember correctly, especially on his Secret Avengers. Great art, great story, I think. Nice and fun. You know what we talk about all the time? That this book is great about kind of going between being super fun, but also having serious moments, and that we care about the serious moments because during the fun parts, we really connect and really like the Kate. And I think this issue is a great example of it, just like having fun for an issue. And then now we got Clint at the end, and it kind of brings it back to being like, oh, what's happening? Like,
Right.
Doesn't he say, I need your help at the end?
I think it says, I think we need to talk about something or whatever.
I think I need your help.
Yeah,
That's the last line.
They
both
say it to each other at the same time, yeah.
because she needs his help for the Madame Mask thing, and we don't know why he
We're
needs
gonna
help.
find out.
Unless you bring Occupy Avengers, I guess maybe they might set it.
Dude, I tell you what, you know who it is? It's probably those bro dudes coming over to beat him up again in those running
so?
suits.
Um,
Wait, I know he still owns that building.
What I liked
talked
when
about it and-
Kate first comes upon them, it's like something
Go to
that
the
looks
bar.
like Wolverine, little Wolverine, actual
Little
Wolverine, like a real life.
Oh, yeah,
Wolverine,
yeah,
like
her
those
Kate
parts.
Vision? Yeah.
That was cool.
Her Kate Vision is a great little tool that they use in the art.
I think it's really nice. It gets you really focused on what she's like experiencing.
You're right. It's an aha thing from that first run, but I think people learned from that was like it's a great tool in comics because you can't do that really in a TV show or in a book.
right
TV
without
show
being like a cyborg.
Yeah, and TV you can, but it can very easily move to being like trying too hard or being kind of cheesy. Where in this book, actually, I think it fits perfectly with the art.
The way this actually reads to me, it's like Burn Notice when Michael Weston would meet somebody and he goes, "Oh, this is the client. This is the supposed back," and sometimes there'd be puns at the bottom of it going, "douchebag landlord" or whatever it was. That's how he was referenced. I always thought that was good. That's how I feel about this, at least with the
I don't know anything.
literal Wolverine.
I've never seen the show in my life.
Have you never seen
It's
that?
really good.
That was a good show. At least
Oh,
the
you used
first-
to watch it?
USA.
It
Chris?
has what's his face from Spider-Man and the Evil
Bruce
Dead. Yeah,
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. He's really funny. He plays the best friend, whatever his name is. in that
Sam
show.
Axe.
Not much to dig in this book, though. Like, it's fun, but it's just like
Right.
one big fight scene.
I think it's a good, like, if people don't want to jump on Legacy, which you're freaking crazy, but if you want, like, to not be burned by, like, corporate Legacy renumbering or whatnot, not that anybody really would, this is a great place to end where you're at. Like,
Why is it getting renumbered?
yeah, this next one is the Hawkeye. Well, it might not be getting renumbered, but it's the new Legacy starting point.
Yeah, I don't think they're just getting renumbered. Maybe it is, but
I can't remember.
Well, it depends on. I mean, if it was carrying on from Fraction's AHA run, then it probably would be like 40.
add that to the list of
6.
things you're looking up.
Oh my god, I gotta get to this. But
I like this issue. I thought this was a 9.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm giving it a 10.
I feel like this issue, it's a strong 9 for me. I think this issue, you really could give to anybody or somebody that get into comics. Like, hey, you want to read this real quick? You figure out within it who everybody is, like Gabby and
Tiny
Laura
Wolverine.
and
Actual size Wolverine.
Kate. And it's really fun. It's really just like it really actually shows what comics can do in one issue. And then at the end, nice little cliffhanger to be like, hey, you want to read more? Like, here's Clint.
This is one of those books that I actually did laugh out loud. And there's a part where all three of the girls get drugged or gassed, and they're hanging upside down. And there's apparently power depowering stations or something that they're attached to.
Yeah.
And so Wolverine goes, or Kate asks, "Is there a plan?" Wolverine's like, "Well, we can cut our feet off. For me, it's gonna be really painful and really bloody, but Gabby will be fine. She won't feel it, and our feet will eventually grow back."
Why won't Gabby feel it? I don't understand.
She can't feel
That's
pain.
one of her abilities. She can't feel pain.
Oh, well.
Realm ongoing. So, booyah. Oh, it makes me feel so much better.
At least one of your books won't be ending on you.
I know, right?
So yeah, I like this book. This was this book is great. Kelly Thompson nailing it.
Comedy.
I'm hoping
she's so good at
Yeah.
comedy. I haven't met a writer that could make me laugh more than Kelly Thompson with this book.
Oh, I do like, speaking of comedy, when they went back to her house, and she's like, "Oh, do you want something to eat?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, I forgot I only have frozen peas." And
Do you want a pop? Yeah,
yeah.
I'll take a pop. Well, this looks like water. Well, I forgot I don't have pop, and I've got
all I have is tap
peas.
water and frozen peas.
And then for us reading the series, we know why she has only frozen peas
Yeah.
in her freezer. Like, all ties together. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a good book. One that I would, if you are interested at all in picking up a Marvel book, I would recommend picking up this issue and starting here. Obviously, they're going to do Madame Matt's probably continuing. That's an ongoing story, but
Yeah.
I don't think really. I think they'll, since they are doing the legacy thing, it'll be explained.
I think my
Don't be worried.
only hope. Nice, you spiked. Is that eventually we do get past the Madame Mask and start at least get a few other characters.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to branch out a lot. Just I want to see a little bit more of her world.
Kelly
what she's got
Thompson
going on.
was who we were hoping for, Jessica Jones.
Yep, that's my
Hopefully.
hope. And if that's the case, I probably will jump on that.
No,
book.
it's Kate, not Case.
What?
Don't joke.
Oh, my God.
East to West, number 35. This is Jonathan Hickman, Nick Dragrado, and Dean Martin. Dean Martin?
Whoa.
Hey, what else am I looking up?
Hawkeye, the renumber in it.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Martin on colors. This is the first issue back from hiatus, not planned, I don't believe. But, Alex, let me ask you two questions. How we're going to frame this review. One, do you remember where we are yet? Two, did you enjoy this book?
One, no, I don't remember. Two, I really did actually enjoy this book, but the reason I enjoyed this book, three of my favorite characters were in this book. I love the Horsemen, so I was so excited to see them back in.
I really actually did remember where we are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when it started, I was like, oh, yeah, we ended the last issue with a sniper looking at the Horseman. That's how it
really?
ended. Yeah. And
I'll go look at 34 because I don't remember.
I'm pretty
that.
sure it was like the crosshairs on one of them.
Oh, you might be right because I kept thinking it was the Ranger.
Yeah.
and it's not.
It's
It was
this guy.
a random
then
guy.
the,
this isn't the random. This is the barkeeper, isn't it? Who has been harassing him off and on since the series started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he's fucked. But then they have Death and his son. We know that their journey, they're going somewhere. I forget where they're going. They're going somewhere.
I think now they're going to go see Mom.
Well, now, yeah, because
Mom's in
his
trouble.
mom set out a signal being like, hey, we're going to war. And that one of the best pages in the series, one of the most badass pages in the series, where he's like, it's time for you to see what your old man is made of. And I'm just like, God damn, here we go. I also do like when he's talking to the balloon and he's like, he's not right. Like, what's wrong? He doesn't like see the world as it is. And Balloon's like, he doesn't. Like, I'm wanting to show him a better world, what it can be, not what it is. And
my only not concern, and I think the problem is that I see what Babylon is seeing and what Balloon is letting him see. Balloon, you're a fucker.
well, I mean, like, he's trying to protect him, really. But he is also doing a little bit for his own.
But I say, he's doing bad things using Babylon because we've learned that in the past. Is that so? It's one of those things. I'm going, God, Balloon, you're a piece of shit, and I cannot wait for Death to kill you, or for Babylon to go. This isn't what I should be.
Oh,
seeing.
you're right. He was showing instead of the pig, he sees like this monster.
Yeah.
So he is doing the opposite sometimes too. But like instead of seeing a skull, he made him see a teddy bear. And,
Yeah, which then confused the shit out
and
of
then
Death.
he's hugging it, and Death's like, "What the fuck?
Can
is
I
going
keep
on?"
this?
Even though he's Death, he's confused.
What the
What are you
crap?
hugging a skull for? They go fishing. It really is a kind of weird issue where it's really like father son stuff that you're like, really, Death and his son are going fishing, and a lot of comedy in that moment too.
Yeah.
Where
balloon zaps all the fish.
Zaps all the fish instead of actually trying to fish, and they get some fish, and that's like, oh, why did you yell for help? He's like, I need help carrying this fucking fish.
Like 50 dead fish.
But I think it's a nice issue that really...
Page. That Osido page?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's immediately what came to mind is like, oh, that's Osido.
It's a nice issue where Death actually has felt like a father. Like he's thought his son was dead for this whole time, and now he finds he's alive, and they're really connecting. And even if he thinks his son's a little weird because of what's happening, he sticks with him still. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's judging him. He's just saying, hey, what's going on? And at the end, he said, okay, let's go help out your mom. Let's go see what your old man's made of. And this book, like that's an added element. With this book, has been a lot of political stuff, a lot of violence, a lot of war. We really haven't had any of these kind of heart moments. I don't believe.
This is probably one of my favorite issues of this book because a lot of it was just and it just between Death and Babylon, heartfelt story.
And you're right. It did start with the action scenes, so we got the action.
Yep.
So I was like, all right. And I think it's great when you have a hiatus to start with something like that. Because then, you don't have to know
draws you
anything
right
to read
back
it.
in.
You kind of, that's how I kind of figured it out. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that they're in the crosshairs. Then we cut to, and then the rest of the issue is about Death and his son.
My one complaint I had, and it's just me personally complaining. The Blue Rider's name is Conquest.
Yeah.
When he's not, I guess I only know the Four Horsemen as War, Famine, Pestilence, and Death. That when they're not called by their other name, I'm always confused on who he is. Which one is he? I don't know if he's Famine or if he's supposed to be Pestilence.
Conquest?
Yeah.
I think they're a little different in this book.
Okay, so they're different kind of Four Horsemen.
I don't think they ever said Pestilence.
They're not the...
There is War. War's the red one.
Yeah, they're not biblical horsemen.
There is War, Death, and then what was the other one?
Conquest, and I'm not sure what...
Conquest, and then the yellow, I'm not sure what she is.
Yeah. She looks like she'd be Famine.
She might be. She's skin and bones. But I do like, in these title pages for a while, we've had quotes, but they've not been in issues. We finally got a few of them here. When War and Conquest say, we would tell you to pray, but it wouldn't do you any good. You've earned what's coming to you. And we've seen that a lot in the issues, especially in the back page, I believe. It's been in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it says right there on the back. So, finally we get this statement that's been in the back of every single issue, and when it came up, I don't know about for you, but since I've seen it in the back of issues so many times, when it came up, I was like, fuck, there it is.
Finally paying off.
It was in a moment that was really wow. And then cut to Jonathan Hickman is great where he puts that title page.
Mm-hmm.
He's a designer. I think he went to school for design, and he knows when to be like, boom, title page is very cinematic, and then cut to let's do a story about it.
Yep, and I do agree. It's got that kind of nice TV part where here's your first little bit before you get the theme song, and then you go into the other part.
Big
of the
action
story.
moment. Says the line, boom, east to west.
Yep.
Then here we go with the nice heartfelt tell. Let's get some heart in this book, because I think this book's been a lot of people dying, a lot of people getting killed, and I don't think anybody. I don't remember at least anybody being like really felt sad about dying. It's just been like, well, that sucks.
It's part of life, yeah.
But in this one now, him and his son having these moments, it's gonna suck when him and his son die. Now it means more. Actually, the only heartfelt moment they ever had was Death and Mao. Is it Mao?
Yeah.
It's them having that relationship, go find her son. That's been the only. And now we're now he finds his son, and now they're connecting, and now they're going to war again. And who knows what's going to happen? Yeah,
I mean, and all the political stuff. They're all using people to get further. And I think last I remember, the Madam President I think is dead.
Yeah, there was a plane heading for the tower. We never saw the end of that though. The tower that she was in. So, but they're ramping up to the end. When did the third year start? What issue?
I thought it was 31.
31. So 12 from there. So 43, so we're ramping up. We got 8 left.
So maybe it's 30 something. Maybe at 42 we're going to be
Let's say 8 or 10. 8 or 10, we're going to have this war. Basically, it's going to be, and then we have a nice little end of the book, I believe. Which is nice. It's a nice little run. Mm-hmm. And like we said on the forecast, I'm sure this reads amazing in trade. Because when it was coming out month to month, remember, you would love this book.
It's just the gaps. And that's the thing. Gaps. And that's the thing is that I fall behind, not fall behind. I forget stuff. And luckily, still Trap Marvin over here reminded me of things.
Crosshairs, got it.
Talking to you about this book actually makes me like it more. I'm going to give this was a 10 for me. I really did enjoy this book.
You
It was
don't-
a nice jump back in.
I found something online the other day. I should send it to you where it kind of summarizes what's happened so far, and it really does help
Jog your memory.
jog your memory. It wasn't caught up to this specific point, but it was enough for me to be like to figure out what happened with that lady and all that stuff.
Did we ever get a second? I don't know the right word. Anthology, because we'd gotten that one.
Oh, the world?
build. Yeah.
Yeah, the one came out.
Did we get this? The second one came out. I knew the first one came out.
Yeah, the second one came out.
No way.
Yeah, I haven't.
That's your own Google search. Keep me out of it.
Yeah. So.
Google real quick.
No, I'm not Googling.
8, solid 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that low or high?
That seems low. I thought you'd give it a little higher than that.
It was good, but it wasn't like.
Wasn't a 10 for him.
You know what the thing is? Also, you're right though, but like I can't take it out of my head. I'm sure if I went back and read this and trade, this is a higher graded issue, but like I can't take it out of my head that we've had such a gap.
It's
And
been
you-
at least 2.5 months.
I gotta take
3
it off
months.
for something. Like
Yeah.
you can't like
Because I gave this one a 9. This was a 9 for me.
Just gave it a 10 like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
the pacing of the story is just like you can't get like I don't know.
Hey, like DC, I can just tell you
Hey,
whatever I
look up
want.
when East to West 36 comes out. If it comes out like in 2 or 3 months, I really like. I'm towards the end, so like I can't drop 8 issues to like
Right.
get it in trade. But like it's
You've
really
done it before, Marvin.
it's really a detrimental to this book to be like, oh, there's no book for 3 issues, and then I got to try to I got to read fucking summaries online to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that's
Get out of
pretty
town.
rough.
You're going down a grade. It is a 9, but for the thing, I had to knock it down to 8. I had to do something.
I get that. I'm looking at it right now.
It took Alex 1 minute to transition.
Of course.
Garrett,
Hey, I told you.
Didn't you have the first trade of this?
I did. I've read
January
I have the
31st.
first 3. I've read all 3. So that's up to. Sorry, you can continue.
No, just January 31st, supposedly for 36.
Holy frick, that's 2 months at least.
It is 2 months, like 2 months at the end of the month, and I guarantee you, it probably gets delayed till February.
Oh
So it is
my gosh.
2 fucking months.
Yep.
That's like waiting for a whole season of TV, but you're getting it only by episode for every like 3
Actually, I
months.
should go back on here and see if it'll pull up the second.
Is your mic off?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I barely talked. I
Oh,
was,
okay. You're farther away from Mike. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
What were you asking me though before that?
You got the first trade of this, right?
Oh yeah, it reads great as trade. Like I don't have to wait forever to like see what happens next until I got to the end of my 3rd trade. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to buy trade
Is
4.
Black Monday Merge on a hiatus right now too?
Yeah,
I believe so.
It
And
is.
I think the
and issue
second
came out about a month ago.
Yeah, it was
So
like
I think maybe it was the first week. No, it was before November. It was October.
it's definitely been 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah. So
But it's like I like Hickman a lot, but it's just I don't understand why his books are so delayed.
I feel like he does like a round table thing. Like he'll do, okay, I'm going to do Black Monday Murders this block of time. Then I'm going to go do East of West. Then I'm going to go do that other book and then keep going in a circle.
Unless he's working on something not comic related. I don't know what else he's
he's
doing.
working on DC stuff.
Well, I do know he got avocado toast with Jim Lee, so they might be working on something.
Oh, they don't put the world building book on this list.
Oh, you can look it up on your own time. What's the next book?
Well, you and I were talking about it. You told him to look it up.
That's not my job. I don't read the book. I don't do shit.
So we got Doctor Strange, number 381. I'm learning from Marvin. Just telling you like it is. Loki, Sorcerer Supreme is the first legacy. Written by Donnie Cates. Art by Gabriel Hernandez Walta and Jordi Belair is the colorist.
Back again, Jordy. How many books did Jordy do? She did also Hawkeye, right?
Yep, I believe so.
3.
And she did 3. Yeah, she had 3 books so far. Powerhouse, Jordy Belair. And all 3 don't look the same.
Yep.
Like I'm telling you, this.
Yeah, coloring.
Doctor Strange is the first issue of Legacy. We've learned that Doctor Strange is no longer the Sorcerer Supreme. Gave it up. It must have happened in a book I didn't read. Probably Doctor Strange before this. But Loki's a new Sorcerer Supreme. And Doctor Strange is back to be just being a doctor.
I wonder if that was that
No,
Doctor
not
Strange
just a
and
doctor, but a veterinarian.
Oh, he's a veterinarian.
I thought that was that Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme book, that little
It's
side
possible.
mini
It's
one
possible.
that it could have been in.
It's in some book I didn't read, but you know what? Not confused. So if you're looking to
It's
jump
like-
on Doctor Strange, here it is. There's actually a little thing at the beginning that tells you what's been going on. I read that. Not really anything that.
And say, to be fair, it
important.
still sounded like it was from the Jason Aaron run anyway.
Yeah, none of it sounded like it was important. You're right. It did sound like that first arc in that sense. But what do you guys think? One, is it what you were looking for in a Doctor Strange book? That it's the first issue of this thing to continue. And did you think that you got enough out of this book to like Doctor Strange? This issue in general.
I read it twice, actually. I read it the first time, and halfway through, to my shame, I did kind of fall asleep. Like it's a really wordy book. The second read through was a lot better, but it was still wordy. Like it still took me longer than most comics to read.
That's how fast you read.
No,
Speed read.
This was like, I was trying to read fast, and there was a lot of words. So I really enjoy it as Doctor Strange as a character. Like I think it's really interesting, and I know it almost felt like I was reading a Tom King book just because of Walt's art. But I know that it's changing the narrative. So, like, he can't always be the Sorcerer Supreme. There's a reason that Loki is the Sorcerer Supreme. So that second read through was way more enjoyable. And yeah, I'm definitely going to get the next issue. I liked it a lot better the second time around.
I only read it the once, but I really enjoyed this book, and the wordiness didn't bother me.
Yeah.
This is one of those things, I think I was looking forward to reading it, and that Walter art it drew me right in like I was reading Vision.
Now, because of the Walter art was so amazing in Vision, it didn't look as crisp in this.
It looked the same to me.
It looked way different.
It looked the same to me,
darker.
but it didn't feel like
Loki didn't look the same to me. He seemed just like some dirty, gross dude.
I know what you're talking about. I don't think it's the art itself. It is the framing.
Right.
Tom King stuff, a lot of it was framed in a way that it fit that book and it fit Walter's art.
Right.
It felt like a lot of it was like, hey, Walter, do this crazy thing, and Walter's trying to do it.
Right.
But it's like his art really doesn't fit that kind of style. And that was what I was worried about this book. It's great art, but like you said, there's a lot of talking in this book, so it works in this issue, but I don't know how it goes beyond this. There's a 2-page spread where there's some magic going on. I forgot what was going on. Loki was doing something. And that
where
page,
he's making the Bard in Nowhere or whatever?
I don't remember. Yeah, look it up. But that was the page I was like, this is what I was talking about. Like, I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
He's fighting Chupacabra.
Like the coloring, I think, is the best thing about that page. 2 pages.
Yeah.
But
I like Doctor Strange's narration throughout, so I give Donny Cates props on that.
Donny Cates' writing, I think, is really good.
I think it's just like when, we want to know what's been happening, and I'm getting like Wizard C+.
Well, I kind of agree with Alex. I never felt any of it was like too much over written, but there was one thing where I was like, oh, they're already retconning that, where he's like, Loki was like, oh, no, magic doesn't hurt me. And they're trying to make it so magic doesn't hurt him anymore. There's no cost to magic.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that was a Jason Aaron thing, and now they're taking it.
Oh, see, the way I understood was that it doesn't affect Loki due to the fact that Loki.
But also he said, hey, guys, I take it from you too, so that way it doesn't hurt anybody.
Right.
But I think they're going to like make it, they're going to do something, not in this issue, but in the arc that makes it so it doesn't cost anymore.
Oh.
And so
which will make Doctor Strange.
He can go back to being, the guy who's like overpowered. I do like the twist at the end, the veterinary thing. It actually made me laugh, and Donny Cates' books are good about having like good serious moments, but also a little comedy. So,
well, I say the nice joke is that he's actually talking to the dog. The dog's talking to him.
He's like, well, that's a good joke.
The first time, because I don't really like comedic Doctor Strange, but the first time comedic Doctor Strange actually was funny. That wasn't like trying to be Tony Stark.
Well, it's like he was trying to be serious.
Yeah.
So he's just telling the dog, what Dr. Doolittle.
What book was it? AutoZone. Civil War?
Oh, no. Infamous Iron Man.
Infamous Iron Man. AutoZone, like, Bendis didn't write a good Doctor Strange. Like, that joke, that was just Tony Stark. And Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange was like, it felt like
he's too incompetent.
Yeah, it was like weird. And this one, I actually do like it. It's a nice, like, self-aware comedy. So, it's good.
I like that we'll see in the arc that, something's going to call him back to the life of the magician, Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So Loki obviously doesn't want to, like, do it. He knows and he needs Doctor Strange, so he's trying to get him back. But
what? That's not what I got from it. I know he's the god of mischief, so he's lying to everybody, but he makes it seem like this is what I want. Like, I want this power.
Oh, I really felt like he was
because when he was
scared.
talking to Thor, he's just pissed that nobody wants to give him a chance. And then Thor's like, dost thou not whatever your own bullshit? And then he laughs and he's like, yeah, takes her to the other place and then shows her.
That book.
Yeah, how did you not? I didn't get that message at all that he didn't want to be.
No, I think he doesn't think that he can do it.
Well, no, he throws out his key. He's like, hey, if you don't want me to do it, fine. But like, I want to help people. That's what Loki says.
To me, it seems like a chain. Loki wants to try to be a good guy, or as good as he can be. But I guess I always understood he wants to do this.
Yeah, it's just nobody believes in him. So he's like, well, fine then, take it.
I mean, everyone thinks he's the bad guy, so he's probably going to eventually be the bad guy.
Yeah, I got the idea that he was being kind of pompous in front of people, but behind the scenes, like every time that they would walk away or not look, he would kind of be like, "Oh man," like he's like over his head, like he was still like he wanted to do it, but he didn't know if he can.
Right.
And she's like, "I'll be watching." He's like, "I know you will be." And he goes, "Dr. Foster," and in that moment, he kind of seems like he's like unsure of himself. I know that's what I got. We'll see though. Loki's. Yeah. I like this Loki. See, here's the thing. Loki for a while has been more of an anti-hero than a villain. He's been for a while when Karen Gillan...
There are no villains in Marvel.
Karen Gillan was writing Journey into Mystery. He was a good guy. He's in Thor right now. He's doing stuff behind the scene. Even though he's acting like he's a villain, he's actually not. He's doing stuff behind the scenes to help Thor against Malekith. And in this book also, and then in this book, he's a...
Are you sure? I thought Loki was helping Malekith behind the scenes.
I think the thing is that
whole arc.
No, there's always things that he does that Malekith, he like does stuff behind. There's been panels of him doing stuff, being like making sure that Malekith doesn't get everything that he wants, and then when he kills their mom, spoilers for Thor, I guess, Mighty Thor, he doesn't actually kill her in that.
That's true.
It's like a year and a half ago.
It's all those mischiefs and lies. I don't know what's fucking.
That's what I'm saying. He's playing the long con in that book.
Yeah.
But that's even his character, though. I mean, just because you're mischief and lies doesn't mean you have to be a bad guy. I get that was always been the story, is that Loki's been the bad guy. But being that kind of god, that doesn't make you have to be a bad guy. You just get to be a dick sometimes.
Well, the thing in I was saying in Karen Gillan's Journey into Mystery, there was a part where he actually was a hero when he was younger, and there's a part where the older Loki's trying to take over again, and he's like really sad and upset, being like, I don't want to go back to being that guy anymore that tricks people and lies to people. And he has no choice. He turns into this Loki again. And in this one, it really did feel like he was that good guy, but to people's faces, he was like trying to act like he was bigger than, I'm a big bad guy. And then behind the scenes, he was like, I'm just trying to do good here. Like, so I really do like that kind of dual character.
Right. I like how he like brightens up as soon as like Thor was like calling him out on his bullshit, and he's like, we'll see.
What can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That was fun.
This is the best, I think, characterization I've seen for a while for Loki. So, and actually, I thought I was going to hate it, because when I said Loki Sorcerer Supreme, I go, fucking Loki again. Like, how many books is he in where we had to do that bullshit of being like, oh yeah, you're fucking lying, you're betraying people. And this one didn't really feel like that. It felt like he more, instead of being the god of lies and mischief, he's more being like just a pompous ass. But he still was good.
Yeah, it's like getting a new boss that wasn't as great as your last boss, and you're like, and he's kind of a dick.
Hey, new boss, same as the old boss. Won't get fooled again.
That's not what I said.
8, solid 8.
Yeah, I give it an 8.
Oh, this is actually a 9 for me. It was wordy to an extent, but I actually really enjoyed it.
It was enough for me to be like, I'll get the next one.
Yep.
It wasn't enough for me to be like, this has been the best Doctor Strange arc for a while.
No.
Oh, I guess for a while this has been the best I've read. I'm including the Jason Aaron, but
if you include Jason Aaron, this is way better.
The best Doctor Strange
I know is The Oath.
No,
that was
recently
really great,
was Jonathan Hickman in New Avengers. Get it? Go on.
Well, okay. How about just a Doctor Strange book, not where he's included in a team?
Garrett, what else we get?
Jeez.
Ignore me.
Marvin, the man who does not answer questions. But we're actually reviewing.
Wait, you asked me a question?
Yeah, I just told you.
What do you say? Go ahead. Look it up.
A Doctor Strange.
I have it right here.
Where it's just Doctor Strange. It's a Doctor Strange book, not where Doctor Strange is on a team. This would be the best I've read.
The best there will be.
That's Wolverine.
The best there is.
Oh, Jesus. All right, next we got the last book is The Batman Who Laughs, written by James Tynion IV, art by Riley Rossmo, with the cover by Jason Fabak. And I have to give props out to that cover. I know we usually do covers, but that cover looks fucking great, like they all have for the Batman tie-ins. This story is so
scary
fucked
as shit.
Up. Yeah, that's what I've loved about the potential of all these tie-ins, is like how ruthless you can get. And this was top dollar. Like, this was wow. What are your guys' thoughts?
Raleigh Rossmo, awesome. Mm-hmm. He's always been awesome. Coloring awesome. Who's the colorist?
I didn't say.
That was Placencia.
Because I don't have the.
You think so? I think Riley actually does his own colors. Look it up.
I thought on
God.
check the cover.
You know what? We're going to change our name from Wednesday Comics to Google Search. That's what our new name is going to be.
I thought the picture showed the
No,
names.
I'm on the solicit because DC site sucks.
Okay.
And it already came out, so I
Go
can't
to
go to
Comixology. Look it up.
Oh my God. You look it up. Get your fucking phone and
His
you look
phone's
up.
over
The
there.
phone
Dick
is
licker.
recording the damn show.
There's a lot of
The art's really great. I do like the coloring. I do like the panel work. Actually, the panel work I thought was amazing in this comic. But you're right. The story, James Tynion IV, the idea, and I'm sure Scott's involved. I'm sure Greg Capullo's involved in the creation. of
Ivan
this.
Placencia.
Ooh, Ivan. I'm sure the both of them are involved in how the origin of this character. However, like you said, dark, very dark, and it was actually darker than I expected, even though I know this character is supposed to be very bad. And the way this character comes about, actually, I thought was really different than I expected. It is Batman. For a while, I thought it was going to be.
The Joker becomes Batman.
Yep.
Well-
that's what I thought it was originally.
Actually, I thought it was going to be one of those people that he infested, that Batman was looking after. I thought maybe one of them was going to kill him and try to be like him. But yeah, he kills Joker, Batman, and there was the Venom. Not Venom. What's the?
It was his
A toxin
it was a
that he
toxin
made.
in aerosol form.
A Joker toxin.
Because that was his
That was
contingency.
released after
Basically,
he died.
his death wish comes out into Batman. Batman gets infected with it. In one of the creepiest parts, there's a lot of creepy parts, but for me, first one is when he's training the Bat family, like on this extreme level. And like, you're training us to fight you, aren't you? He goes, nothing's going to happen with you. And then within that scene, he kills them all. Like, he turns in that scene and he kills them all. And I thought, I was like,
He goes, I'm training you to see something you would never see coming. Then he
then he fucking kills them. Like,
With
I didn't
machine
expect that
guns.
coming.
I didn't
Like, I was like, wow, I thought it was going to be like a longer story, but no, he just kills him. And then he goes after Superman and Jonathan and Lois Lane with
Black Kryptonite.
Yeah, make Superman kill Lois and John.
Superman and John kill Lois.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
thought he killed John
No, she goes,
too.
Clark, John, what are you guys doing?
Oh.
And they fucking rip her apart. The sound
Yeah, you
effects
can
in the
see it,
background,
yeah.
they rip her apart. And you see all that blood. It's the darkest shit I've ever. Like, it was so.
And the way I'm assuming is that because then they're touching the black kryptonite, I'm assuming kills them.
No, it doesn't kill them.
Well, the way it sounds
It just
that.
poisons them. Only green kryptonite kills them.
Well, I assumed
poisons
black was a combination of green and fuck you in that.
It's like they're basically just infected, yeah.
Right.
But I don't know if he would keep them around. He probably killed them.
I was like, because he talked about killing
Well-
Supergirl.
Because there is, I mean, we're getting ahead of the game here, but like the last couple of pages, there's an unknown person in a wheelchair all wrapped up. I mean, who's to say it's not Clark with the black kryptonite or like the green kryptonite? I don't think it's green. 'cause
It's
that'd
not
kill
Clark
him.
because Clark's eyes were bleeding and that guy's eyes weren't bleeding.
Well, they're not going to bleed the whole time.
They are.
You don't bleed forever.
Because he used that thing against his eyes. So, look
He cut off that tape off his eyes.
If you say look it up one more time, I'm fucking cutting your mic and tossing it out the fucking window.
Whoa, calm down there, buddy.
No, I'm spiking because I hear look it up one more time. You better call this episode fucking look it up.
Look it up,
Don't do that.
Garrett.
Probably will
Look
be.
it up.
Look it up, Justice League.
But before that, even like going way back before he kills all his Robins and whatnot, and Barbara and all them, there's Superman's talking to Batman about like crime going on, and in one of the panels, all you see is him go, "Ha!" And then Superman's like, "What'd you say?"
Yeah, the slow turn.
That thing, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Hey, how does he kill Barbara and the rest of Gordon's family? I forgot. In a way that he said Barbara couldn't even say her name. She just kept going, ba, ba, ba.
No,
Look what he did.
Gordon got killed in a fire. He killed him. He burned down the GCPD, and Gordon.
I thought there was a gunshot wound through his badge.
No, because Gordon, like he said, as his face was melting off, he was trying to say Barbara's name.
I thought it
you're
was
right.
acid
Yeah.
in his stomach.
Oh, we don't have the issue.
For some
Acid
reason-
in his stomach.
Because he talked about his eyes melting out of his head, and he's talking about his organs were melting out of
Something
his
happened where he was becoming
He was burning
burnt
alive.
from acid or
Yeah.
fire, one of the two.
So
And yeah, he was trying to say Barbara's name. You're right. That's what it was.
And Joker was like, he just kept saying, ba, ba, ba.
Whoever that character is, we're going to find out. That character is probably important. They end on that character.
Yeah.
And they end with this Joker, Batman saying, what does he say at the end? He says something that makes him laugh. I forgot. I wish that iPad was charged because I could read it because I downloaded it digitally.
Yeah.
I could show you guys, but it's dead.
I don't remember what he says at the end, but
I remember
maniacal.
ending on a very chilling moment.
Yeah.
And I knew like this moment will continue on to what we read next. This is not the end of this story.
Right.
We'll see what happens next. Also, did you notice Earth 22, it's Kingdom Come universe? This is Earth minus 22, so I'm not sure if that plays into it at all, but we'll see.
I thought that was just Earth -22. Not.
No, negative 22. These are all negative, all these dark universes.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
I had heard.
It's the upside down.
I don't know. Maybe you guys had mentioned, or maybe I just misheard it somewhere, that all the Robin dogs.
Oh, I said that.
I thought that they were Jason Todd's.
That was what the rumor was, but they're just people.
yeah.
No, I thought they were Damien's. No, Damien is the Harley Quinn to this Joker, right?
Harley Quinn.
Like when because he told who's he talking to?
He came out with that hoodie.
Yeah, he comes out in this hoodie with half his face just like destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are just, he poisoned a bunch of people, a bunch of families, and killed their parents, and then made the
To
kids.
the kids. Okay.
I thought it would have been
Jokers,
better
yeah.
is if he killed the Bat family, dressed them up as Robins. And then
By the way,
carried away
that was
chains.
fucking cruel too. He would take these little kids and kill their parents in front of them, and then traumatize them to like make them like him. And
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! Especially the one they showed was a little girl, and she's like, "Mom, Dad," and he's like, "That's good. Just let it change you." And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Very, very creepy book. Makes me more afraid of this character going forward.
I think James Tynion IV, with help by Riley Rossmo, should be on a horror book.
Yeah.
They were doing Constantine, weren't they? Wasn't that my Constantine?
Riley was, but it wasn't James Tynion. I don't
Yeah,
believe.
Really? I'm pretty sure it was.
I can't remember who it was.
James Tynion, yes, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, him with Riley Rossmo. I'm pretty sure they did that book together.
Okay.
Did they? Look it up.
Oh my god!
I remember Riley Rossmo, and every issue he was on was superb.
It's really great. Yeah. 10.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give
this
this
is
a
a
10. Like this is the most scared I've ever been in a comic book in my life.
Yeah, this is fucking creepy.
This might be. What's the first book you had? Batman?
Batman.
This might be my pick just because it surprised me so much. I really do like that Batman. It's a close second. Like it's right below it. but
I you know what, in all
it was
honesty,
either heart or horror. One of the two.
Right.
I'd have to go with the horror factor because
Yeah.
this really did just
It
it was disgusting to read.
It was shocking, disgusting,
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm finding with books nowadays is like, yes, you want your established rules, the hero's always going to win, blah, blah, blah. But when there's books like this where there are no rules, like you don't know what's happening, that's a game changer. Like that's why I like Injustice so much because like you might think somebody's safe and the next page their organs are being.
That's why you like
tossed out
Michael
of
Cray?
them. I bought issue 2, I haven't read it yet.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
I just want to get speculation from you guys what you think. The only way I see this playing out is that our Bruce is going to come back and beat the shit out of all these evil Batman.
Also, actually, you just reminded me of something. He kills the Justice League. That page also was like
yeah.
crazy. Like he's like, I've been saving all these weapons. Just telling you that we just were going to do some research, but little did you know that actually was saving them because I want to use them one day. And they're all weapons that can defeat the Justice League, and they're all like dead. Plastic Man is like stretched out, dead.
Martian Manhunter is like split in two and hanging from the.
I was like, he was up against the wall.
And Hawkman was outside space, choking, no air.
I didn't see that one. I'll have to look at it again.
He was up against the window of the ship.
Okay.
So basically, any way that these guys, like he knows, obviously Batman knows all their weaknesses, and so it's kind of like Tower of Babel, but in this one, he actually killed them all.
Right.
Good.
it was good.
Batman is in the upside down and gonna kill them all, or he's gonna. I don't know if he can defeat this guy. Yeah, he can.
Well,
I feel like the actual Justice League is going to help him. They just,
Well, obviously, they talked about. He's like, he had a chance to go to this universe and face the Batman. They keep saying the Batman. We're gonna go face him. So obviously, this Batman from our or the Prime Universe. Is that what they call it? What do they
is
call
the
it?
Batman.
it's Earth Zero.
Earth Zero is the Batman, is the most powerful one. So if any one of them is going to defeat him, it's going to be that one.
I mean, in all honesty, I love Batman. That I would love to see the Batman take all of them out, but I also hopefully it is a team effort because
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
that'd
too
be
much power.
I would like to see Superman take him out since he did do that in this
Right.
universe, kill his family.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Soups.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed Metal. Like I reread Metal 1, 2, and then I read 3, and then Batman Lost, and then all those tie-ins. What a great universe!
I admit I've actually really enjoyed I've enjoyed the Batmen issues. I just something about seeing, as much as I love Batman having the rules of not killing, it is fun to see these. What if Batman was this freak of nature and just had to kill people from everywhere?
Those are the books for this week. We got Doctor Strange 381. We have Hawkeye number 12, East to West number 35, Batman Metal, the Batman Who Laughs number 1, Batman number 35, Realm number 3. Get those books and check them out. Great week of books.
Mm-hmm. See, I didn't lie.
Aces.
Good week. Other than my wishy-washy East to West. It's a 9-10. You never know.
East to West. I mean, I can take it down 2, 3. Oh, it's gonna be 3 months for that next issue.
We'll be lucky if it's even that. Probably March.
We saw a movie tonight. We saw Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder, written by Chris Terrio and Joss Whedon, starring Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa. Who's his name?
Ray Fisher.
Ray Fisher. And
Henry Cavill. And then with the special appearance by not Henry Cavill's mustache.
Amy Adams.
Yep.
Diane Lane.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons barely in this movie. Good job throwing the lever. We're going to talk about first non-spoilers, obviously, as we do with any review for a little bit here, and then we'll go into the spoiler review afterwards. So stick around for that if you have something we want to hear about it. But if you don't, if you're thinking about if you want to go see it or not and don't want to get spoiled, we'll talk about it right now. What do you think? Well, first off, as we do with any movie, I ask you first: was it good enough that somebody should go see it in a theater? Let's say just first impression.
I think it definitely is. I mean, if you've seen Man of Steel through this point, it's definitely worth it. Is it the best in the franchise? No. We know what that is. Is it the worst? Also, no. I mean, it's not the worst at all.
This would be the second for me of best.
Second best?
Second best.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, number one is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But
I think there's a lot of elements about this movie that everyone will enjoy, but there's plenty of elements too that you'll hate. And for me, what I had to do is turn off my critic brain and just turn on my full comic book movie brain for this
That's
movie.
a good way to put what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoy this movie more being a DC fan than being a fan of movies.
Right.
It wasn't a good movie at all.
If you're a fan of film, it's like when we get a comic with two artists. It's just fucking all over the place.
It wasn't a good movie, but it was a good DC movie. I don't know if that means much to you. If it does, if you love DC, there are definitely a lot of moments. There's definitely a lot of jumps in logic in this movie. There's definitely a lot of, hey, let's just move forward with the plot, even though we haven't developed anything.
Right.
There's definitely a lot of also, I believe that I understood this movie more because I know who these characters are. I think if I came in fresh and didn't know who these people were, especially Cyborg, especially Aquaman, Flash, these three. If I don't know who they were, I'm pretty sure I would still not know who they were when I left that movie theater. I would like them maybe, but I wouldn't understand who they were.
There wasn't enough character development.
I think the only, in all honesty, the three you just named, the only character that I did not care for was Flash.
Really? You didn't like him?
No, because to me he didn't seem like Barry Allen, but maybe he's a younger Barry Allen.
That's
just
a
the thing.
that's a DC thing.
But that's the thing is that he wasn't Barry Allen. As the character, he was fine, but as who I thought he should have been, he's not.
You know what surprises me about that though is that Jeff Johns can write a good Barry Allen.
Right.
But he didn't write the script, so obviously it's not going to be. But he was involved in the movie, so but maybe he came in too late to be oh, guys, you're doing that wrong. But then again, on the TV show, he does the same thing. It's more.
You know what I would have rather
seen
Allen. Is Cyborg actually be the comedic relief. I know he's got a lot to deal with. His life got changed, but I mean, he can be even in comics, he can be really comedic.
One of my
when he's too serious.
One of my son and I's favorite show, Teen Titans Go.
Yeah,
he's hilarious.
He's the best. And there's some things we'll talk about from Teen Titans Go when we get to the spoiler part.
When we get to the spoiler part, yeah.
But that That's not who Barry Allen is, but Cyborg could definitely take on that comedic.
It definitely do
role.
feel like the best parts of this movie is the comedy and the character interactions.
Yeah,
Like that's what makes this movie enjoyable for me. It wasn't the plot at all. If you're looking for this movie, like, hey, let's see what kind of story they got going on. Nothing's going on.
right.
If you want to go to this movie, like, hey, yeah, that's gonna set up future movies. I mean, they kind of do if you know. But once again, like, you got to know who these, like, the villain in this movie is not set up well. And the only reason why I know anything about what it means, what he's doing, or what it's going to lead to is because I know from the comics. If I don't know anything about him, that person didn't mean anything to me in this movie.
Right.
Well, even at the end of this movie, he really meant nothing to anybody.
No, I mean,
So, I mean, he was the character just to get to the next movie.
did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. But I left the movie being like, I enjoyed that, but it does feel empty to me.
Right.
It does feel like it could have been way better. It does feel like there is a good movie. We'll talk about it in spoilers. There's one thing about this that gives me hope for future movies, but it's more leaving that movie being like, wow, I can't wait to see those other movies. And not in terms of like, oh man, this movie was so good, I want more. It's more like, I see the potential. I want to see what that is.
Right.
But it really is looking at it and being like, oh, what do I like? And you got to pick things that you like.
I told my wife tonight, I liked parts of it. I hated other parts of it. I would actually buy this movie when it comes out. So that does say something that I have yet to buy a Batman vs Superman.
I would buy this too.
because I actually do hate that movie. But there were winning qualities, and there's characterization of, at least to me, Wonder Woman is well established due to her already having a movie, and I think she's played really well.
Well, the thing, so like to go to your point there, Man of Steel, I haven't bought. Mainly because I don't like Superman's characterization in that movie. I do like. I just think it's okay movie,
Right.
But I don't like how Superman's in that movie, so I haven't bought it because I never felt the need to like. I got to rewatch Man of Steel.
Right.
Even though I like Superman, you like him more. You probably got that movie. You probably own that.
I
movie.
got it.
Batman vs Superman, same thing. I've never felt the need to ever rewatch that movie, even though we did one time for this show.
I always rewatch like the last 10, 15
There's
minutes.
the only reason to watch for that movie, to me, even buying that movie, one, it's got to be like $5. I want the extended edition, but Wonder Woman is the saving grace in that movie for me.
Yeah, there's like
And
one
so
good scene.
the final fight is the only
When
part
she
I actually
lunges,
care
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Right.
So,
Wonder Woman, actually, I just haven't bought just because it's newer. And I
Right.
think it came out like, 3 weeks ago?
Right.
well, Shopko has it for $14.99. Papa
Blu-ray
bought it.
DVD combo?
Yeah, Papa bought it.
See, that one I would buy. I just don't buy a lot of physical media now, so like, but I would go and buy that one.
Yeah.
And actually, I probably might actually because I'm trying to get at least my wife to watch it.
4 words. No man's land scene.
Yeah,
Sure,
but you're right. This
That's the
movie,
best scene.
I know it is.
I left this movie. I did feel way more fun than actually even more
Yeah,
than Wonder
oh.
Woman, I believe. So I left being like, wow, that's cool. But it is also like, it is kind of like bullshitting with friends, and you're like, that's a fun conversation. But did you really talk about anything? No.
Right.
Did anything meaningful coming out of it? No. Is this going to win any awards? Who knows? Suicide Squad did.
Yeah. If that can win an award. I do like what you said, though. I agree. It makes you optimistic about the future. So if you're looking to go in and think you're going to get a depressing movie like BVS, not even a little bit. I mean, there is some parts where you could get a little sad,
yeah.
but I don't think
Well,
anywhere near
not
as
really, I
dark
don't
and
think.
depressing.
There's nothing sad. It's just there's parts that were lulls.
There
and
was
it's like,
there was definitely, and we'll talk about it when we get to spoilers, and we might have to pretty soon because
Yeah, it's
getting
about to
pretty, it's
explode.
about to explode. But there definitely is a. So this movie has the unfortunate.
Past, basically.
Well, I mean, like, it's unfortunate this movie is in the position that it is because during this film, they did decide to change the way they were making these movies. They did decide to go a different way with these things. They were like, and I don't want to put it all on Zack Snyder, because I mean, that was like the DC Warner Brothers way, was like, let's make these kind of dark and like brooding. Like, that's what people
Like the
want.
Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah. And during this movie, there definitely was a tone where Jeff Johnson's like, no, we're going to make these movies more hopeful, more fun. And this movie is really a cornucopia of like like that kind of like dark and brooding, and then also fun. So it feels kind of messed up. Like, it feels like it's not cohesive just because of that. It feels tonally, it feels all over the place. There were times in this movie I'd be like, somebody thinks this fight scene's like really badass and cool, which sometimes it would be. And then sometimes it'd be a slower moment where they'd be joking. And I was like, that feels really different than that last scene. Like it was really weird. Some characters really are different from scene to scene. And it's really like, man, there's 2 movies here. At least for me, I like could see plainly both movies. Like I could see all that scene. I knew who that was, like who directed that scene. I knew who directed that scene. Like it definitely felt like 2 movies put together. And I think they try to do their best to make it a one movie. I felt like, I know you guys, we talked about before the story, you said you guys liked that it was so short. I do really feel though, like 20 minutes and it's a better movie. 20 more minutes to like flesh out the villain a little bit, maybe flesh out how they become a team, because they really did seem. Let's get into spoilers.
Yeah, I was like,
by the way, I got to ask.
Last general thing. I would say the transition from the second act to the third act is really short, like really short.
And let's talk about that first, because
that's
the first thing I want to talk about. I would say if you're a DC fan or even interested at all, it's movie, you're like, oh, I'm kind of interested in it. Go see it.
Plenty of Easter eggs to keep you satisfied.
If you weren't going to see this movie anyways, nothing's going to get you to see this movie. You're not going to go to that movie and be like, wow, it's really is different than I thought. No. If you're not interested at all, you're not going to see it. A, and B, if you're tired of DC movies, maybe go. I mean, if you like the Justice League cartoons, it really does feel like like that.
Yeah.
The one thing for me is like I go to Power Rangers. This is a movie that I was not super excited to see, and so was Power Rangers. Where when I left Power Rangers, I was satisfied and I was happy. For me, this was like this is not my rating, but a rating to a Power Rangers where that was a 10. This to me was kind of like a 6. I left going, meh. It was fine.
I feel though Power Rangers, if you've seen Power Rangers, I do feel like Power Rangers sets up that team way better than this movie.
Oh yeah.
Way more.
It really does feel like when you get to the end when they're like gonna die for each other, it really does feel like, oh yeah, they really do care for each other. Where in Justice League, you're like, you guys don't know each other for a while.
Yeah, no one gives 2 shits about each other. Other than Diana.
Well, let's do give her a grade because somebody who's listening doesn't want spoilers. I do. I think like I was thinking about it at the end of the movie. I was like, what do I give this? It is on that line between, for me, like a C+ to a B-. And I would agree.
This is a 7 for me.
Are we doing number ratings?
So
are we doing grades?
For movies, we have done letter grades.
I don't know.
I don't
remember either.
Since most of the time we do number grades. So
because of my fandom,
I'll do a 7.
I'm going to give it a B- / 7.5. Am I cheating? Is that too much?
I didn't know we did.
No, that's good. We did fun points before. 7. I do 7.
7.
Yeah. It's nothing that I would leave the movie like, man, I got this the best movie ever.
No,
it's not a great movie. It's not a movie that I would be like if somebody was not wanting to go see it, but did like superhero movies, I wouldn't be like, man, you got to go see this Justice League.
No,
but it's nothing about it. And actually, let's into spoilers now. Okay. I actually want to bring up a point that you brought up, and then we'll get to the act thing. You said that there were some bad scenes. I actually didn't think there were any bad scenes. I didn't think there were any great scenes.
No,
and that was the danger.
And maybe the thing
there is one great
it's
scene.
less bad scenes. For me, it's bad characterization. There's a certain character that I really, really like.
Go into spoilers. You can say it. We're spoilers.
I love Batman normally. I hate, and I know you guys are going to critique me. I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. I like his Bruce. I think Bruce Wayne is great. I don't like his Batman. Because to me, this Batman's... He's just kind of the guy that's like, I want you on my team, but I'm not really going to give you a reason to join it. I'm just going to wait for someone else.
Batman's never been a leader.
Huh?
He's never been a leader. That's why even in Detective Comics, he gets Batwoman to be the leader because he can't do it. He's never been the guy.
He's a doer.
He's never been the guy that's like, hey guys, follow me. I'm more motivational. He's never been motivational.
But even this one, I never feel like he's even the doer. He's just kind of like I'm going to go destroy some stuff.
What are you talking about?
You guys join me when
he lured that parademon right away. Got him. He knew that he wanted.
That part was cool. That beginning,
the first part, yes, the first part was good.
To speak to the thing where you could tell the cuts in between, anytime there's bad CGI on the screen, those are the reshots. That scene, that's a reshot scene. That background looks so bad.
The scene was awesome.
Which one?
When he's trying to get the parademon.
When he's on the gargoyle right away.
That is a reshot scene. Anytime you see Henry Cavill and his lip looks weird, reshot.
Okay, we need to address this. We need to address that first off. Do not look at Henry Cavill's face. You'll enjoy that movie.
How do you spend however much money they spend and get a lip that looks so fake?
It's bad.
Just CGI his whole fucking face.
Yeah. They should reshoot that movie now that he's filming.
Leia in Rogue One looked better than that face.
Yeah.
That needs to be the extended cut for this. Hey, this is when Henry Cavill actually did.
And you
this
know what is
scene.
strange? I told Garrett after the movie. You know what's strange? 98% of those scenes you can see that on his lips. So to me, that says 98% of Superman scenes were reshot. So what does Zack Snyder's Superman look? Probably that old, dark, and brooding. Because all those scenes were him being happy, telling jokes. We get a scene at the end, like in the credit scene where he's racing Flash, or even when they're racing.
Oh, you're going way too fast by this.
Or even when we're talking about Superman.
Okay.
Even that part where he's racing Flash to save some people, like he's being happy. Hey, he goes, "Can I join you?" Or like he's flying next to him and he
I'll get the right, you
smiles.
get the left.
All of that is Joss Whedon. It's all the reshoots of Superman being more positive.
See, I loved every inch of that. That's what raised my rating. You know, everyone knows I'm a huge Superman fan, so I was going to love that regardless. But yeah, right. Alex, like, no shit.
Never got that.
You know, I'm able to turn off the mustache thing because I love this character so much. So, like, I was just like looking at him as a general person. I mean, the suit color, like, this is the big thing. I was saying this the whole time after the movie. I was like, Superman. And then I like brought my arm across to in color because they made a video after Man of Steel about actually picking the gradient back to put it to actual red and blue instead of navy and maroon.
And it really did
And it
feel
looks amazing.
it really did feel like they in post production to like turn up that color on that suit.
Yeah.
Like there was only one scene where he doesn't have the lip thing, and that's when he's bad and he's fighting them.
Which that scene itself was really cool.
But then again, that's his Zach scene. You can tell 100% because a lot of slow mo.
Yeah.
A lot of Zach, like depth of field. He really likes showing where like the whole background's kind of blurred out and you can see a person's fist like in HD glory. That's Zack Snyder.
How terrifying, though. There's one scene with the Flash where he's running at Superman, and Superman has three of these guys on it. Like, he's got Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg on him, and Flash is coming, and he just looks out of the corner of his eye. And I heard everyone almost say, like, oh, fuck.
That was probably the funniest part for me because I laughed out loud going, yeah, that would be pretty terrifying. As you're the fastest man going, holy shit, he sees me coming.
He looks pissed. He's like, you want me?
Speaking of which, there were only a few times where I could hear people laughing in the theater. Not a lot of people in that theater.
No, it's pretty
I wonder
bad.
how this movie's tracking. Is it actually make some money? Or are people done? Like, they saw that it's not getting the best
I feel like
reviews,
Wonder
and
Woman's
they're
giving
done.
her own a second chance to go into this universe.
Maybe they'll like enough.
I mean, Wonder Woman was my pinnacle of if I hate Wonder Woman, I won't see this. This was a movie this actually was the new guiding. I'm trying to be as open to this movie as I could be. This is the guiding line. I enjoyed this enough to see the next movie.
And I actually do think when I saw those reviews before going in, some people liking it, some people not. I actually did think it helped because I think I was too hyped going to this movie because I wanted it to be like this awesome movie because we knew Joss was on it now. Chris Terrio did the script with Joss. And by the way, those trailers, that's all the movie. but
I know, that's what kind of bothered me about like the joke scenes. Like I knew they were coming. I'd still like giggle, but I'm like, God, I would just.
They didn't bother me. I was like, God, the whole movie is in those trailers, and that was one thing we were wondering: is it the whole movie or are they hiding stuff? They weren't hiding. Actually, what they did was that whole movie's in the trailers, but in the trailers they kind of CGI some things out so it wouldn't spoil things. For instance, there's a big battle scene, and in that battle scene, there's a lot of Easter eggs, Green Lanterns. Zeus is in that, and Ares. And in the trailer, I believe all you see is Amazons.
Right.
So you're like, oh, is this when they're taking over Themyscira? But no, this is a flashback scene. There's actually Green Lanterns. But I thought was cool.
One part I said that I'm nervous about is, but thankfully they could still fix it, is when they were showing the Green Lantern fighting, his ring was lit up. So I get that CGI, and when it left, you never see it, just the ring itself.
Yeah.
So I'm worried it's going to be like ethereal, like the Ryan Reynolds version of how I'm like, no, it's a fucking ring. Okay. It's a ring first and foremost. Everything else is CGI'd out of it. That's a ring.
The most simple thing. Here, wear this ring.
You could get one from like those quarter ones you could buy at the comic shop. That I would still believe to be screen accurate. You don't need to make it look like this freaking huge cool thing. It's a ring. Keep it a ring.
To go to your point about the acts, it really does feel like there was an act 1, kind of, and then it was like 2. Act 2 is like one scene, and then it was like, let's get to that final scene where they're all a team, and that lasts for like the rest of the movie. Most of the movie is them as a team fighting the threat.
Right.
Like they try to, when they're working together, explain their origins. Like there's a scene where Flash and Cyborg are digging up Clark's body, and they go, "You were in an accident?" "Yeah, it was an accident. Restore my body." "Oh, lightning struck me." Like that's
I
how
like that scene.
That's how they get past telling the origins. Which I mean, it's fine to do it through dialogue, but it's a lot of that dialogue that I said is exposition. Which actually that would make sense. They don't know each other.
Right.
But there's a lot of times being like, "Oh, you do this," or like, "Oh, I guess you're right. That is fine because they don't know each other."
And it pays off at the end because they fist bump finally at the end when they're standing posing on.
Yeah, and he asks for a fist bump. I do feel like the very end of this movie, like when they're fighting Steppenwolf. By the way, Steppenwolf, the worst, I think, DC villain. Not good at all. CGI, horrible.
Yeah. That's Syrian Hines.
Like I said, if I didn't know anything about Steppenwolf, I would be like, what's this guy's motivation? Obviously, they said he wants these three things to bring the unity together, but I don't know.
He was zero threat, and the only threat that there was the parademons because there's a big horde of them, and the damn what's the teleporter called?
Boombox. Mother box.
Boom tube.
Yeah, the boom tube, or isn't that maybe that's the JL's boom tubes when Cyborg sends. Anyway, that was the only threat was how fast he got from place to place.
But even in like when he needed the last one, he's like, "Parademons, go find it." And it's like this dude does like he's incompetent. He's not strong. Like obviously we've seen that they can take him.
That was honestly the one thing that kind of bugged me in that scene is when he's going to find the last mother box. I get that the JL was so concerned with finding out if Superman was
oh, dude, that was the worst. How they just left it on that car.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I was like, don't let him get him. We left it on the car. Fuck, you got it.
Oh, he's already got it. Okay.
I'm the worst.
Why would you not?
That's why I said there's a lot of jumps in logic. You'd be like, I guess they worried about Superman. I don't know.
I understand. Send Flash to go get it, bring it back, then set it down. Yeah, then go fight him.
That's the thing. If you're gonna get annoyed about that, don't go see this movie because there's a lot of that.
Or where the hell was Batman the whole fucking time? Up until the last little scene. Hey, Superman.
Yeah, I know that whole part. That didn't make any sense. He was gone. But it made it seem like he was running the whole time. People are going to mean the shit out of that. He's going to be like, "Oh, sorry, guys, I'm late. I had to actually run."
That's what I mean. There's a lot of jumps in. Like, if that's going to bother you, don't go see this movie.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of them being like, having to fit this huge movie into 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There might be a scene explaining that, but it wasn't in this cut.
I think they need a little more chunk in that second to third.
I mean, I realize I'm being really picky about Batman, but this is one of those things that, no offense, Batman would have been the first one there to go fight Superman. I know he's not a leader, but he is a doer. He wants to get the shit kicked out of him.
But I do think it is what Garrett said, like all of them flew there.
Yeah.
When Flash ran.
You can see him huffing and puffing.
No, and I get it. He did run, and there's no tall building to shoot the grapnel gun to. But Batman would have he brought that weird walker thing into the tunnel. Why would he not have had the bat plane or Batmobile ready to roll?
Or even like a backglider.
Yeah, or a bat glider.
Well, technologically, this was a technological Batman movie. Not a detective Batman movie, not a fighting Batman movie.
And it bugs the piss. Maybe that's the problem, is I don't like that everything that Batman does in this movie is
But I mean,
fighting
related.
aliens. You can't fist
to be
fight
to be fair to him, it
but
is
he
a
did
Justice League movie, not a Batman movie.
But he did fist fight. But everyone had their own special strengths. You got
He used a gun too?
Aquaman. Yeah, he used a gun. Aquaman used his Triton.
Trident.
Shit, what did I say?
Trident.
He's chewing some gum. I want to call her Amazon Woman. Wonder Woman. She's got her sword and shield. Flash is running really fast, which she's kind of incompetent in doing.
By the way, am I crazy? Speaking of the Amazons, are their costumes different in this movie than Wonder Woman? Like in Wonder Woman, they had a lot of stuff on their legs and arms that were like leather for like to protect them obviously in battle. And this one, it seemed like Zack Snyder was like, "Hey, take that off," so that way you like all you're wearing is that skirt and the
Well,
top.
if you think about it, though, that's the span of 100 years. Because in Wonder Woman,
So in 100 years, they decided they don't need protection.
no, they just
may have gotten
changed
lazy.
it.
I mean, why would you're not fighting anybody anymore.
Sometimes your armor gets rusty. You gotta switch it up.
Maybe they're really hot and they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna wear this."
I do feel, and also there's a lot of scenes, and I feel like Wonder Woman, the movie, was respectful for that character and not trying to sexualize her too much. In this fucking movie, there's so many shots of her from behind being like
there was the
under
one
her.
part. That part I was like, are
So
you
many,
kidding me right
so many
now?
shots of her being like, "Let's see her get out of a car really slowly." And it's like, God damn, like,
Yeah.
and it's Wonder Woman. You gave her respect, being like she's a hero along with all the rest of them. And this one, it seemed like Zach
she's
was
a
like,
sex object.
yeah, like, oh, she's also sexy too, right, guys? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
You can, and also like I said before, there is a big distinction between Joss scenes and Zach scenes, especially scenes that Joss wrote, because it is a camera in a room with them talking and a lot of jokes. And like those, I think, are the scenes that work the best. So that's what makes me hopeful. Like I said, potential
Right.
moving forward. But it also depends on like how are they moving forward? Are they moving forward with Joss, or are they going to have Zach and Zach's crew do more stuff?
Question for you. Where did the first parademon come from? Is he just there, or is he a scout one?
That's
or
what he said.
He was a
He's
scout, yeah.
he was a scout? Okay. I was just curious. I thought, why the hell is he there? How did he get there? But never mind.
We should maybe talk about the Flash. I mean, comedic relief. That's not who Barry Allen is. We all probably thinking that's Wally
Yeah,
West
that's
more. But me and Alex said something before we started the show. Man, does he run horribly. Worst running form I've ever
It didn't
seen.
even look like running. It just looked like...
Here's the
It looks like he's flapping his hands and his feet. Like
here's the thing I thought about that. I thought two things could explain that. I do agree it looks horrible. One, they did establish multiple times that he's clumsy. Like,
Yeah.
he trips over himself a lot. He can't really run. So maybe he's just awkward. Which I don't.
When your sole job is to run fast, you should learn a good running
Or
style.
B, I just was like, people who run don't look cool. Like you don't look cool when you run. So maybe they just went for the realistic aspect of it. Like, yes, there's a way
Too realistic.
there's a way to film it that looks cool.
Oh, man.
But I don't think they did for this movie. Because when at the end, when speaking of that Superman Flash run, when he's getting ready to go, he's like doing a stance that I'm pretty sure I've seen like actual Olympic runners do.
Yeah.
So like I think they're trying to go for the realistic aspect, being like, this is how people run though.
Okay, let's talk about that scene too.
I've watched plenty of Olympic runners. They don't look like... Because the way he runs, he's all slunched over.
But you're not watching them in slow mo.
Yeah, but at least they'd have more of a this. He's got a... Look at my arms and my fingers and all these things. You don't look that stupid.
He was doing butt kicks and whatever these are, if they're called chicken wings. I don't know what the fuck.
By the way, there's that scene where he pushes that car and the girl and the guy are in the back, the kids.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they flew out of that car.
They were dead.
The way how fast he ran.
Hold on.
Hold on to this as your arms rip
Their
off.
faces. Oh, God.
All that's left is like...
Did you
girls'
guys like,
arms.
there was one scene when he used his, at the very beginning, which also I believe is a Joss scene, when he pencils the guy's face.
That was good.
You don't see any of the lightning. Any of the Zach scenes when he's running, there's a lot of lightning.
Like Speed Force running.
Speed
and stuff.
Force.
Dude,
I
I
know you
don't like that.
I don't like that really.
Yeah.
I tell you what, when they got to the Bat Cave or the Justice League Cave or wherever they were the first time they got together, there was a shit ton of sparks everywhere.
That was hilarious, but I can't believe I never thought the Speed Force as like an energy that it was going to cause that much damage or like sparks flying all over the fucking place.
That's what I thought too. If he's going to be
was
saving
like-
people and he can't
gonna be
control
burning
it,
them.
he's going to be burning some people. If he's
I thought
going
it was
through a
something
crowd.
that just was in his environment, not anybody else's.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I
Yeah.
thought too. I thought maybe it was like, oh, maybe he's seen that when he goes, kind of like
Right.
in Lord of the Rings when he puts the ring on.
Right.
I thought that's what it was going to be, but then there's certain parts, like you said, where it's like affecting.
He's just sparking everything.
where certain shit's like getting burnt and stuff, and I was like, whoa, that's
Never put him near a
dangerous.
gas station because he's going to blow the crap out of the
And he's
city.
afraid of everything.
Yeah.
Afraid of
I'm just sorry.
literally everything.
This Flash was a wuss.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
just...
by the end of the movie, like I was just not impressed. I'm like, I want Grant Gustin.
I was ready for them to write him off and let him be dead.
Oh, what I was saying before, from the point when they defeat Steppenwolf to the end was the best part of this movie.
Yes.
Cyborg was the best at that point.
Yeah.
Aquaman was the best at that point. Wonder Woman, Superman was the best. at
Oh
that
my
point.
god!
When him
I
and
wanted
Cyborg,
you guys should have seen me holding myself back in my chair. I wanted to stand up, just kind of like that guy in Smallville season 9 where he's like America. Like I was like, ooh. I was probably annoying the shit out of your
When
wife.
they defeat,
So I was like here, like in a little ball, like I'm about to jump up.
when
like
they break apart the mother boxes and they're on the
Yeah.
ground, and Superman's like, "I take that back. I wish I could die."
Yeah.
And then Cyborg's like, "How come I can't feel like my toes hurt? How did this? I don't even understand the physics to make
and they
that
start
work."
like laughing.
Phantom
start-
pain.
They started laughing about that. Well, I was like, that is one of the best scenes. Once again, CGI mustache shutting out a Joss scene.
Right.
That's how you're gonna figure it out. Look at his mouth.
Right.
If it looks like it's normal, Zach scene. So I was like, that's great. And then the way that the race,
Yeah.
I was like, that was perfect.
Okay, hold on.
The
Race I was pissed about for two reasons. One, that
Lip?
fucking mouth.
By the way, I think I know what's wrong with that lip. Now that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
I think that they made the actual lip part too thin, and it's not actually how thin his lips are. I think somebody erased too much.
So the bottom is not equal with the top.
They erased too much.
Second part, why is he flying during that scene?
Is it going to be a foot race?
In the encyclopedia, you can read it anywhere.
He
Superman
runs.
flying versus Flash running. Superman beats him 9 times out of 10.
And it's-
if they're running, that's when it's
If I was Flash, I would have been like, whoa, 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 this is not 1-for-1. You can't fly, and I run.
Right.
Like, let's both run.
I felt that was like racing for idiots. Like, Superman fly, Flash run, get it? Like, no. That's not why they're racing. They're racing to who runs fast.
But there's a lot of potential. Like, I am interested in the Aquaman movie because I did actually like Jason Momoa in this movie.
He was. I tell you what,
He probably is the best with this movie.
I would. Yeah.
Out of that group.
He was awesome, but I felt like he was in it, but felt like barely. Like,
Really? I thought he was in it a lot.
I felt like he would just show up when it was convenient for the plot, and like
Well, he was there for a
when
while.
they
that's
needed
what-
some muscle, like he
But that was when
thrown
it was
in.
convenient for him. I mean, he wasn't going to join the team until, oh shit, it got real for him down in his own place.
I just didn't feel like the hero aspect from him. I just felt like he was just all muscle.
I do really. It's not really Arthur Curry.
Right.
I really do like the way that they took that character, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna
they
make,
made it their
Khal
own
Drogo,
thing.
right?
they made him Jason. Jason
is if-
Momoa
this
was
is
like,
if
let
he
me make
talks.
this my character.
Yeah.
So I am excited for that movie, though.
What'd you think of Mara?
And she was barely in it. Like,
Yeah, I know. I thought she was
Her
like,
water kinetics were kind of cool, but
Oh, that's the thing I didn't like. The air pocket. They used an air pocket to be able to talk to each other.
when they should be able to talk in the water.
It should be like SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm underwater. I can talk to you. In the comics, they don't do like, oh, you want to talk to me? 1 second, air bubble.
well, Sandy
Okay,
Cheeks
now
needs an
talk.
air bubble.
Huh?
Sandy Cheeks, she needs an air bubble.
Well, she's a squirrel. Squirrels can't live underwater.
Well, Arthur Curry's,
Atlanteans can live underwater.
Arthur Curry's part human.
You know, the weird thing is I never actually believed that Aquaman was breathing water. I just assumed he holds his breath because like there's a part where
You
he
hold your breath
actually
and
he
talk at the
lets
same
out
time.
he lets out bubbles, not even bubbles, just like moves some water with his nose. I thought maybe he doesn't breathe underwater. I know he's supposed to. I get.
How'd
that.
you like the way he swam? He didn't like move his arms or anything like that. He just
Kind of
went.
like flew.
He like flew through the water.
Which makes sense to me though.
Actually, I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, that's.
I think that's how I've seen it on anything I've seen. Like I don't see him doing like the American crawl or anything.
In the comics, usually he's got one hand in front to break the water from him. This is
Right.
just- I use my face and it blocked.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. Like with Superman, I knew most of that was reshot. So, but that's and I like the way they characterized Superman. So that makes me excited for the future. But I couldn't tell with Arthur Curry. Like I felt he was good throughout the movie, like his character. There's actually some scenes, and that's the person I was talking about. Some scenes where he is more dark and brooding, and the other scenes where he's really kind of like a surfer, funny dude.
Right.
So I can actually tell like the difference there. But there were some jokes where I was like, is this Zach or Jocelyn? I can't tell. When they're leaving the when he's about to jump in the water and tell Bruce, I'm not going to be on your team. And he's like, oh, you just look like a bat, huh? And he's doing all that kind of stuff. I was like, can't tell who's this.
Right.
But later on, there's a scene where he's sitting on Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, and he's saying all this stuff, like revealing
Getting kind of emotional.
all his truth. And I was like, that's a Joss scene. Just because that's the scene Joss would do.
Right. I got two more things to say about Superman, and we can kill Superman from this.
Again, good.
Okay, the opening, again, minus hair lip or whatever. I really enjoyed. I liked how Joss did that kind of like live action video, like from the phone.
That's what I say. There's only one great scene. That scene.
That was awesome.
That is the best scene in this whole movie, and it happens in the first 1 minute.
Superman was amazing. Like that's the best characterization of
The
Superman
part
I've seen.
when the kid says, I'm getting chills right now. The part where the kid says, what's your favorite part of Earth? And he just looks and smiles.
Oh, dude, I know.
I was like, that is the first thing that happens in the movie. I was like, man, this movie's going to be
Hit me right to the feels. Yeah.
But then, it never lived up to that potential.
Apparently,
Right.
my stone heart didn't feel that. I had no feels at all during that part.
He takes something about it and he's just like, just big Superman smile, and you're just like, damn.
I think
Yeah, you said ignore
That's-
the lip in that scene.
the only
Also
feels I
ignore.
had-
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can do it.
I was going to say, also ignore the vertical video. That kid's not filming the right way.
Yeah.
The only feels I had was during Wonder Woman's entrance into the show, and that's when
kids.
she's saving these people.
Zach scene.
And
That's the Zach scene.
My
I
last
get that,
Superman
but-
thing is back at like Kent Farm, basically. The ending was great at Kent Farm. All the stuff in the middle, super forced. Like, it was needed. It was necessary because everyone's kind of dealing with this emotional weight of like Lois lost Superman, Lois's mom lost Superman, and Lois's mom. Clark's mom lost Superman.
Well, I believe that was so that scene you're talking about
Yeah.
when he first comes back. The beginning part with Lois Lane is a Joss scene because you can see the lip thing.
Yeah.
But when his mom shows up, you can't see the lip thing anymore. I think that's Zach.
That's an action scene, yeah.
I wish that they would have actually shot it in a field instead of behind a green or with a green screen. Because
I mean, the reshoots, dude. They had like
I get
a
that.
month to do
I
reshoots.
get that, but it was just
That's what I mean. You can tell where these two movies are because of that.
Yeah.
You can tell because of the bad CGI. By the way, Cyborg, I like it doesn't look horrible, but you can tell it's CGI.
It looks better than everybody else's CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best CGI in that movie.
If you play a lot of video games, it is like a good video game CGI, but it's not. It's noticeable.
Right.
You'll notice the whole time. There's never a point where I was like, "Man, is that a real guy in this in metal suit?" It always looked like CGI. His face.
I think the only thing that kind of bugged me, and they do, spoiler, eventually fix it. His armor just looks really tacky, and he looks all dinged up.
His new one at the end when they fix it looks good.
It looks more like the comics. Looks more like Teen Titans Go, big and blocky.
Yep.
The whole
and polished looking.
What's the spoiler for Teen Titan Go fans for Cyborg?
Cyborg says "booyah."
He says "booyah," and I'm like, "Fuck
Booyah.
yeah, booyah to your booyah."
The whole movie, I kept being like, I know they want to make individual movies with this. Aquaman, I can see.
Yeah.
Flash, I can see. Batman, I can see. Superman, Wonder Woman, obviously we've seen already.
Yeah.
Cyborg was the only one I was like, I don't know if I can see a single movie with this guy. But then at the end, if you get that guy,
Yeah,
like the last 20 minutes, 10 minutes of this movie,
where he's like,
I was
yeah,
like, I can see a movie with that guy.
right.
But like the whole movie leading up to that, I was like, this guy can't carry a movie.
Yeah, but I mean, the first part of it, he's all upset that he's not him. So he's brooding.
They also, another reshot, a lot of I believe the reason why his face looks so CGI is because I believe a lot of his stuff is reshot.
Yeah.
I believe a lot of his is just CGI in those scenes, like he originally didn't have that dialogue. And I think to support that, if you watch the trailer, when he gets into the Nightcrawler, and he goes, I got this, Alfred. And it's like very robotic. Remember we talked about it, we're like, dude, he's not that fucking robotic. In this movie, he goes, I got that, Alfred. Like it's a different take on that line.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure they reshot that. For sure, they went back. They're like, "Hey, you're not a robot anymore. You're a person."
Right.
And so, and there was a part of the movie where he kind of like fell into that, and he did talk like a robot, and then he was like, "Oh," and then he talked normal again.
Right.
And I do think like most of it, that's the reason why he looks so bad, especially in the face, is that they reshot a lot of that. It mostly was just CGI, and they had him do his lines again, more to be more human and be more like booyah and all this kind of stuff to be more funny than to be this robot character.
I know it's hard in this fictional universe, but man, you got to tone down that CGI way too much. Way too much poor quality CGI. Like I want CGI to make me believe it's real.
Do you think? So we're gonna let's talk about right now actually, and I think this would have been a better route for the first Justice League movie. The last after credits scene, what we get Deathstroke showing up to Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor being like, "We should start a league of our own."
Deathstroke looked amazing.
Looks pretty good.
Although
It's his
Slade
classic
Wilson's
suit.
face, though, do a little bit better on that, highlighting that beard of his.
The which one? What part of
For Slade's beard.
How it's white?
It's supposed to be white. It looks clunky. It
I
doesn't.
didn't really notice
I guess
that.
I-
But I also don't like.
I was focusing more on his eye patch. It was
Yeah, I was
weird.
gonna say,
It was
that's
like
what
he
I
has
liked.
this like little arch.
I could
thingy.
not get over how I thought the beard and mustache, his goatee looked bad.
Yeah.
Like it looked
I
like
didn't
they
look
had
at
painted
that.
individual, like they were big, thick whiskers. That's what it looked like to me. Like he had spaghetti noodles on his face.
So I do know that they needed some sort of threat that would make them have to bring Superman back. Yes. But I don't really think that like Parademons and Steppenwolf is good for a first movie. Like you said, too much CGI.
Yeah.
I really think it should have been more down to earth, like get a whole league of villains, and they more need Superman back because they don't have the numbers. Like when he says, "Oh, not enough of us are here," like, and that's why, and you can make it a movie with less CGI, cost
Right.
less, and I think people more connect with those type of villains than a CGI in this movie. Oh, fully CGI villain
Right.
that's just like, "Hey, I want to destroy the world."
Well, whenever Darkseid shows up, who's his minions going to be? More Parademons.
Yeah, I know.
So now we have to see that twice.
Yeah. Or maybe he's going to bring, Granny Goodness and all
I
these kind of
suppose.
people.
Ooh, shit.
Well, actually, that was a one part of the movie. Once again, just because I know about it, like in the movie, it didn't set it up at all. When he's like, "I want to be one with the new gods," and he says that line, I was like, "That's cool," but nobody
Nobody would get
knows
that.
what the fuck that means. Why? Like the only reason I include that is so like somebody like who reads the comics can be like, "That's cool."
right.
That's cool.
But for anybody else, they're like new gods. Oh, they're just saying he's just like saying new gods, not the
Right.
actual new gods that we know. A lot of potential. I'm excited to see where it goes. But
Lex
this
Luthor,
movie-
Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor in that last bit, was the best he's done compared to that entire BVS.
See, I couldn't tell if he was better or if I'm just used to him.
I think for me, it's just I expected worse from him, that it was dialed down. He is not a good Lex Luthor.
I do like, though, that
He was kind of
playing
channeling Gene Hackman.
I like that now. Like, he's wearing like
Yeah.
this tacky suit and stuff, so
Right.
they're kind of be like, oh, he's kind of like a rich asshole.
Right.
Rather than the first movie, they try to make him like really a businessman.
Joker and Lex had a baby.
Yeah. So it's fine now that we know what to expect from him.
But the line, though, that he says is kind of weak. It's like, maybe we should make a league of our own. And then we like...
For Chris
Legion of Doom.
Terrio, Oscar award-winning writer,
Yeah.
for him writing this movie, his some of the dialogue is really kind of like...
I don't know if he's like... I don't know if he knows... I know his dialogue could be off, but I don't think he's really big into comics. I think this is something Ben Affleck brought him into.
But I mean, there's a lot of lines that are very like cheesy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of lines being like... I don't even know examples. Because
Hey, Joss helped do that screenplay too, though. So like some.
a lot of the Joss lines are kind of like on the nose, like campy.
Yeah.
And I do like campy. Chris Jericho more was cheesy, and there's a difference. Like campy, I can get behind. Cheesy, I can't get behind.
Right.
Like, for instance, Superman says that line about, "Oh yeah, I'm a fan of truth." What does he say?
Hope.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of hope and
Justice.
injustice, and then he punches Steppenwolf, and that's a Jaws line. That's just like that X-Men line, that Toad line from X-Men 1.
I
Or that
couldn't
Storm
keep,
line, excuse me.
I can't
You know
stop
what happens
thinking
to
about
Toad when he's
Superman.
struck by lightning?
I
Same thing that happens to everything.
I had a grin the size, the biggest grin on my face ever. Because that's who Superman is. He's the Boy Scout. He's lighthearted. You want to cheer him on. You're just like, yes. And it's like, it took you 5 movies, but yes.
Superman sees the best in people. He does not judge people and be suspicious of them. He's like,
Right.
no, he's like, if you're trying to help, the best part of this movie, for example, he's fighting Steppenwolf, he's beating him up, and you're like, fuck, he's gonna take him out in 2 seconds. And he's like, and he hears civilians, and he's like, people are in trouble, and he leaves. He's like, this does not matter. Saving those lives matter. And he
Right.
leaves. Is the best Superman that we've had in the last fucking 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That point, along with that first part, I was like, God, can we have a Superman movie? Joss directed, Joss writing, because obviously you get who this guy is.
Yeah. I wanted an instant Superman movie right then.
Like, if they announce that, I'm there. I don't care how this movie turned out. I don't care if they're like, you know what I mean? Like, that's enough for me. Those two scenes, seeing how those were written, to be like, oh, he gets that character.
More fan service. Clark Kent ripping open his shirt into the Superman outfit right in front of the Daily Planet with the Superman theme music by John Williams.
That can come off cheesy, but that works because
Right.
of how they set him up throughout it.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the past movies, they're like, oh, that's iconic. He has to do that. But they never made him that character before.
Right.
And in this movie, they're like, yeah, of course he's fucking doing that. Like, he hears something's happening. He's going to pop open his shirt and like, let's go.
Right.
I really, so like this movie is more like me being like, man, I got to see those other movies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really excited for those other movies. And I would rewatch this movie, like you said, to relive those moments where like, that's a good moment. That's a good moment. But overall, like this, like it needed a better story and it needed to be less rushed. And that,
Well, let's hope when it comes out on home release that maybe they have a little extra time to edit.
that is my only hope, that there is a director's cut. And I don't care if it's 3 hours, that's fine. As long as it is a director's cut, not just extended edition.
Yeah.
Where it's recut to be like, Joss is like, hey, it would have been my movie, and put it out. And you can have Zach's movie on there too. That's fine. I mean, he obviously he left the movie for reasons he couldn't control. But
Right.
I mean, it's unfortunate. But I see, like, it's kind of like strange for me to say, being like, well, you know, Josh took over him, and I can see that he would do a better job. And yeah, I really, like you said, wasn't there a moment that was a moment in Batman this week, Batman comic. He said, no, you guys can't come in here. And he goes, oh wait, there's the aliens attacking Coast City, and he takes off.
Right.
And I was like, that is Superman. He doesn't care. Like, he will weigh, and that's his order of what's important. Saving people is at the top of the list. He doesn't care. Like, obviously those guys he's like, oh, they can handle it, but they can't beat Steppenwolf. So that's why he's like, oh, I'll be right back.
Well, they can stall him. And for me, it was yes, I understand the priority is saving people. But to me, the obvious thing is you've already proven that you're the one that needs to take him out. Uppercut him so he flies. Because these guys are the worst team I've ever seen. The whole plan is block Cyborg.
That's the whole point of the last scene is why Superman's doing that. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are fighting wearing him down. Yeah.
I get that. I'm just saying that Flash, Batman, you guys suck at blocking Cyborg. Your only job was to keep him safe while he's doing
Flash needs to go to superhero school.
Yeah,
a little bit long.
To be fair, they played off Flash like he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah. Very incompetent. Very tripping over his own feet.
Well, and I get fighting flying guys is hard. I understand that was fine.
Batman's human though. Like, what the fuck was he gonna do there in that whole time?
But he had a fucking gun.
But I do like they brought that up. He's like, "You're human. What the hell are you gonna do?" And he like you said, he would have to grab their gun and do something. And he did get hurt a lot. So actually, I do like that they address it rather than being like Suicide Squad, being like, "Hey, you guys are all normal. You're gonna go against Enchantress." Like, and they beat her without really showing that there's no fucking chance they're gonna beat her.
Right.
Batman, at least in this one, they showed him like getting bruised and stuff. Be like, "Fuck, dude, I'm out of my league."
Well, even having to set his arm back.
And that's kind of like kind of what Joss did in Avengers 1 when he shows that Hawkeye and Black Widow are like, they're just human. They can't stand up with these guys, but they're still going to be there on the front of the line because they're Avengers. And in this one, he's still going to be there because he's Batman. He's going to sacrifice himself if he has to. If he's going against parademons, he doesn't care. This is what he is. This from he's been chasing from when he was 10 years old to make sure nobody else dies.
I did laugh my ass off when Superman knocks over Batman, like knocks him back like into a car. He wakes up, he's like, "Oh, that's gonna be some internal bleeding."
Oh, wait, throws him off.
Yeah, something's definitely bleeding.
Yes,
but in at least Avengers, when I watched Hawkeye and Black Widow, I believe that they're willing to do anything it takes to win and to help fight, even if they die. This Bruce, I mean, he was standing in that corner with his back against the wall. Zap. I don't believe that he was as full into this plan as when I watched Black Widow and Hawkeye.
I think he's more of a chess player in that regard, though. You're not going to go knock yourself out when you know that you're the most vulnerable.
Yeah, but to me, that's also what Batman would do. Yeah, he knows he's fucked.
I don't think he would kill himself for that.
I've watched him almost kill himself for lesser things.
I know, but he knows that aliens are insurmountable odds. Like, he's not going to go, take me.
So you mad that he's attacking the parademons rather than Steppenwolf? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying. I mean, I know he's doing.
He knew his place.
He's doing the smart thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
But what else is he gonna fucking do though? He's a fucking human. All he can do is. You're just mad that he'd bring more gadgets.
No, I'd actually rather have him fight them.
They're flying though. What is he gonna do?
Tag one. Jump on top of it.
Literally, Bruce has to ride a parademon to Apocalypse.
He did do that in the first scene, and then you're questioning why he does it.
Well, he's still got the chick kicked out of him. I think my problem is that I don't like Ben Affleck. This is like.
Really, I do think he's the best Batman.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he really pulls it off.
No.
At least the best, most comic accurate Batman, which if that means the best Batman to you, then I guess. But in terms of
there's
voice,
only one best Batman.
In terms of suit,
Kevin Conroy.
Well, I mean, on screen.
I watch him on screen. Where do you watch him?
My God. Live action.
Oh, who gives a shit?
That suit's the best, though. That Batman symbol.
It is.
I guess we will wrap up this review. It's long.
Is there anything else we need to cover? I can't think of anything.
There was one thing, but I forgot what it was.
Sequel-wise, I don't know if there was anything there. We didn't really talk about Wonder Woman herself as a character in that.
You know what?
movie.
She was good. If you like Wonder Woman in the movie, she's the same person.
There was parts where they were trying to establish her as the leader. I don't think there was enough in the first half of the movie for them to even see her fail at being a leader.
We did talk about Wonder Woman the way that they are making her more sexualized for some reason in this way. Where they really push that Bruce Diana relationship thing,
which if they're just going to recast him in Flashpoint, who cares?
But that's what I mean, though. She in that movie they proved that she was more than that, and in this movie all she was coming out of a car.
Yeah.
And then in that scene, you're only here for be the love relationship.
Or when Flash falls on her face on her boobs.
I'm glad though.
That part was funny but awkward.
There's definitely
he even felt uncomfortable.
Like I said, there's two different movies, like I've been saying the whole time, and definitely in one she is a hero on equal levels as the rest of them, and there's definitely another one where they're like, hey guys, she's a lady, like she's a girl.
My favorite part though from her is when she makes that leader decision to actually come back and help Batman on the Batmobile, and you look over at her and she does that smile. That's infectious. I was like, holy cow,
and
that's
then
awesome.
I do like that she's the person who kills Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Like at the end. Like she does the final
blow to
take him down
to get him afraid. Yeah.
Obviously Superman's the strongest one. No, actually they did trade headbutts, and so they were kind of being like, oh, which one's stronger? And Superman just could fly, so that's why
Right.
I was say he got the upper hand on elevating.
But he
himself.
literally got the upper hand.
But
So
she
that's
can
why-
fly too. So
I know,
Well,
but
but I mean, the final move was he flies up enough, holding her arm steady, and then he aims
headbutts
into her
her.
head.
But I do think in that scene they're trying to show that at this point he's not holding back and she is.
Yeah.
So that's why he beat her. Because he was
I
he didn't know?
I really did enjoy that fight scene between the Justice League and him to find out what his range was and what he's
you're
willing to
saying
do.
a full Zack Snyder movie you would have enjoyed.
No,
I guarantee you a full Zack Snyder movie without any reshots, this movie would have sucked.
I'm saying that was actually a nice. Instead of him wreaking havoc all over the city and freaking out, they already contained it, and I like how the big guns wasn't actually literally big guns.
I think
They
it
brought
is
in Lewis
time
to cool him down.
I think it's time for Zack Snyder to, if you want to stay involved in DC, do so, but just try something
obviously
else.
does good action scenes because that's what was left. Anything else they cut out.
Yeah. So I think you need to give the
bring him in
ropes
for
over.
those parts.
He obviously understands.
Relinquish the power of the story.
That's why I don't like. I do think Man of Steel is okay.
Yeah.
But Superman is not Superman in that movie, and I do feel like in this movie, since like 98% of it's from the reshoots, that they finally
is
got him right, and I just think like he doesn't understand that character. He thinks it's cool being like, oh man, he's so powerful, but that's not what's cool about him. They even say in one scene,
Well, even Bruce tells him that
Alfred
Superman
says-
is more human than
you're
I
right.
am.
He's like he's an alien from a different world, and he's more human than I am. He fell in love. He lives out there in the real world. He has a job. Like he's more suited to be a leader for these people than I am, and I think that really encapsulates who Superman is. He just wants to be like them, and he will do anything for the human race. He'll do anything to save people, and it's not that he is Kal-El. He's Clark Kent, and that is not his costume. Clark Kent is who he wants to be.
Right.
At the end of the day, he would rather be normal, be with Lois Lane, go to fucking work, and be on that farm.
I always understood that Clark Kent was the costume.
No. Clark Kent is
who he
Superman.
is. Kal-El
He
is the
yeah.
costume. This is the opposite of Batman. Batman is who he is.
Well,
Bruce Wayne is the costume.
Birthright, that's how they claim it to be. In the Mark Waid story is that they're dressing him up in his costume.
Well,
That's what
obviously
they did in the
disguise.
Christopher Reeve movies.
It is
too.
a disguise, but like the person he wants to be is
Like
that
get who he
person.
wants to be is
That's
Clark
why
Kent.
in second Superman where he depowers himself.
Don't know what that means.
He's like, I don't want to do this. So I would go see if you're a fan of DC movies. If you're not, I would wait. Maybe you'd see I would see it if it's cheaper. If you're at all,
I wanna
think
see it again,
I
to
think
be
you should
honest.
still go see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
Just if you need to, wait until it gets a little cheaper.
let us know what you thought of Justice League Wednesday Comics 605 at gmail.com. Follow Garrett at Garrot2188. Let him know what you thought of the movie. Let him know what you thought of Superman. Once again, first scene, best scene.
So good.
At Alex Pastrello, let him know if you think Ben Affleck's the best Batman or not. At Marvin
See, I
_.
told you guys
Salguero.
that you would disagree because I really do. I don't care for him for some reason.
Do you like Ben Affleck as Daredevil?
No,
No, you don't.
I don't think I like
Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
You don't like Ben Affleck. Go see Argo. Marvin _
won't like that
Salguero on
either.
Twitter. Follow me or follow the show at Wednesday Comics. Let us know if you saw Justice League over the weekend. What you thought? I could see people like saying, "Oh, I don't like this movie at all." So
Right.
that's not even a pot. Like, I'm not saying like you're gonna go to this movie and be like and like it.
If you're a fan of these characters, you will like it.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of films, hit or miss.
Here's what I'll say: if you've seen the Marvel movies, you like the Marvel movies. It's not as good as the best Marvel movies, but it's not as bad as the worst ones. So, like, I'd rather see this movie any day over Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
I'd rather see
Iron
this
Man
movie.
2 is just called Iron Man the Easter egg.
Or even as like a mediocre, okay movie like Incredible Hulk is. I'd rather go see this movie than that.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing this movie over Civil War, or even Civil War I think is better, or Winter Soldier, or
Ragnarok.
things like that. Facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a like on Facebook. Go ahead and leave us a voicemail on the show right down below, 605.
Can't remember.
Whatever the number says on the bottom of the description.
The next three numbers is what I never remember.
2184.
911.
Jesus Christ.
I'm probably close with mine. You're missing
Just
a
make sure
number.
you plug
Hey,
in your area.
You know what?
code.
Look it up. Go to WednesdayComics.com and click on our last episode. Please. I've never said it on the show. I would say look at the notes. And just look
Wow.
at the notes.
And
see
he
what
even
it says.
asked you, please look it up.
You say please now from now on, motherfucker.
Find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio. Subscribe, rate, and review. Like I said for a long time, make sure you leave us a review, leave us a rating. It helps out the show a lot. Go to YouTube and look up Wednesday Comics. Consider a video of the show right here. You guys right here. Make sure you subscribe to the show. I'm not sure where it is. Over here. One of the two. If you want to make sure you're subscribed and make sure you're listening or watching the video for next week's show. That's all I'm saying. That show is maybe, I'm not sure how that show works on audio. Video, perfect. I watched the video.
That is a good show.
If you want to see me almost die, watch that video. And
I gotta download the freaking podcast.
no, you don't.
It's telling
No,
me.
go down. Look in the show notes. Right below all the timestamps. It's the first thing.
He's stuck.
WednesdayComics.com. Is that all the things I have to say? I always
think
forget.
so.
Oh, book club,
Yeah,
other
same.
side.
It's
So
getting closer.
Jason Aaron and Cameron Stewart. It's getting closer. About a month.
Still
And
gonna get it.
2
Still
weeks.
gonna read it.
Make sure you get that. Make sure you are subscribed to the show and you just don't watch it online and stuff like that. There might be special things popping up in your feed. You don't know. You know, it's Christmas time. We give out gifts. And
Sure. That's a surprise to us.
give out gifts. Also, let me say right now, it's going to be a while to ramp up to it. Somebody else say every once in a while now. SuperCon takes place in September. This near if you're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or around there. Make sure you go to supercon.com. Wednesday Comics will be there in force. If you guys want to talk face to face, I'll be there face to face. Want to talk about something? I'm not sure what you're saying, but we'll talk about it after the show because I'm sure it's something that we haven't announced yet, but it'll come out. Oh,
Okay.
Holland Files number
Finally.
2 from John Boylan. Go to rootsofswampthing.com and pre-order Holland Files. You got until December 1st, so a couple more weeks.
Hey, he
The
got
first
it. That's what I was telling
one
him.
was so good. You guys will love it. Our number is 605-215-1849.
605-215-1849. Leave us a voicemail. If you have any questions, leave us a question, or if you just have comments, leave a comment there. For the book club show, make sure to leave that there. Leave us a review for Justice League. Listen what you think. I'll play it next week. We'll talk about it. I'm even very interested to see from different aspects of people who like comics or people who just watch those movies and see what they think. So let us
If
know.
you're a critic, suck it. If you're a fan, I want to hear what you have to say.
Booyah! I've been Marvin.
Oh, I'm Alex.
I don't know what to say, but Superman was amazing. I'm Garrett.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Keep turning those pages.